Okay, it looks like I am live.
I can check.
Let us know.
Whenever you're ready.
Am I on the air?
Whenever you're ready, yeah.
604 at Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane off and running. Brian here with you. Bree Lynn back in studio. I've been let out of the cage for a day here because we are on location on the parade grounds at LSU. I'm not in the friendly confines of the 180 Pro studio. On the parade grounds at LSU for Team Cate today, we've got a bone marrow donor event. It's actually a swab event to find out, just a little cheek swab to find out if you are eligible to help out with Team Cate. Cate is with St. Jude, patient with St. Jude, and it is in desperate need of bone marrow. And we'll be going through that as the day wears on. But we are live on location right out here at LSU, right across from the Student Union on the parade grounds, if you wanted to swing on by as the morning wears on. That being said, we will have our normal show, our normal Thursday show rolling through. Haggai Davis coming by in half an hour for a cup of tech gumbo. Jason DeQueer from Advantis Consulting swinging on. They should be on the hotline this morning. Jason breaks down the tax-related bills during the legislative session. Crime Stoppers coming your way at 7:35. We got Tommy Fauché from the Louisiana Mid-Continent Oil and Gas Association. I believe he is also on the hotline this morning, unless Tommy would like to come on out to the parade grounds as well. But we got Tommy. We'll have Tommy on the hotline. I want to continue to talk about the coastal lawsuits, but there's going to be a different spin on it today. And then Clay Young's going to join us before we wrap up, because while we're out here for one good cause, there's another one coming up with Smoke 'em If You Got 'em. Right now, though, we start off your show with top stories and trending.
Number 5.
A man who was allegedly headed to Louisiana to commit a mass shooting at an upcoming festival was taken into custody in Florida. The Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office said the man was arrested at a Destin hotel. Sheriff's Office said a photo of a handgun and 3 boxes of ammunition alongside a picture of the suspect being taken into custody. The Okaloosa Sheriff's Office said that their office was alerted to the man by federal authorities. He will be extradited to Louisiana and booked on charges from Louisiana State Police. Deputies did not release the man's name, but said he was he was from North Carolina. So I guess he was going south first before coming west.
Number 4.
Amazon unveiled a new initiative coming to Baton Rouge over the summer. Amazon Prime Air will be delivering packages around the capital city via the MK-30 drone. This is a new technology that's already been deployed in 7 cities across the country. Amazon says the drone will be able to deliver small items to addresses within 7 miles of the fulfillment center.
Number 3.
Deputies arrested 6 people in a massive drug bust. I believe this was on Tuesday, after finding nearly 5,000 lethal doses of fentanyl, 15 pounds of meth, a slew of other drugs, 3D printed gun parts, and more than $20,000 in cash throughout 3 Baton Rouge homes.
Number 2.
This weekend, the Drug Enforcement Administration, a.k.a. the DEA, is hosting its annual Prescription Drug Take-Back Day in Louisiana and nationwide. Here in BR on Saturday, the DEA and volunteers from Louisiana Blue will be collecting donations of prescription drugs and over-the-counter medications at the Baton Rouge Police Headquarters on Airline Highway from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m.
Number 1.
Big day yesterday at the Metro Council. The EBR Metro Council approved historic pay raises for the Baton Rouge Police Department on Wednesday and will consider raises for other departments coming up in May. The nearly 40% department-wide raise brings the salary for starting officers from $40,000 all the way up to $58,000 a year. That is, like I said, historic. That's not hyperbole. That is the biggest pay raise in BRPD history.
Those are your top stories. It's time to see what's trending.
What you got, Bree Lynn?
Well, you and Franz pretty much predicted this one yesterday. George Clooney and his wife donated $1 million to the Southern Poverty Law Center yesterday.
Yeah, I'll take a little victory lap on that one for sure, because you want to see support for something, make it appear that it is make it appear that it's under attack. I mean, we saw it all through the Obama administration. And look, I'm a big Second Amendment guy, but every time someone said Obama's coming to take your guns, the NRA just was swimming in money like Scrooge McDuck. Now the same thing's happening on this side you have the indictment coming down for the Southern Poverty Law Center, which, by the way, the more I've read on that, the more firm I am in where my take was on that yesterday. But the indictment comes down, and sure enough, George Clooney at the rescue. Here's $1 million to keep hiring people to go be racist, so you can accuse them of being racist.
Wow. And am I reading this right? It wasn't just him. It was J.P. Morgan Chase and Tim Cook, Chick-fil-A. Am I reading that right?
You probably are. I just knew about George Clooney and his wife.
Yep. All right. Secretary of the Navy, John Phelan, is departing the administration effective immediately, the Pentagon's top spokesman said Wednesday.
Yeah, I heard this on the Fox News rundown on the way in this morning. I guess on the way out this morning. And admittedly, I haven't read anything up on this yet. I gotta get to the nuts and bolts of this story and what it means and why.
Right, and to be effective immediately. Okay.
Yeah, because we are kind of in a what's the word? War.
Yeah, just a hair.
Yeah,
just a little.
It's just we got a slight touch of war going on.
Right.
So
the prediction market, Kalshi said on Wednesday that it had suspended accounts belonging to 3 congressional candidates for allegedly betting on their own races. The candidates named in regulatory filings as Ezekiel Enriquez in Texas, Matt Klein in Minnesota, and Mark Moran in Virginia.
So first of all, good on Kalshi for sniffing this out. Because that's probably a big no-no. I mean, well, here's the thing, though. If they're betting on themselves to win, or as it's described, investing in themselves to win, is there we run through this when we see people betting on baseball, betting on sports, right?
Right.
If you're betting on yourself to win, is that the worst thing out there? Now, if Ezekiel Enriquez over in Texas was betting on himself to lose and then posts up, because he knows something's about to break, he's got some inside information that, he was, let's just say doing something that would have been very, very wrong. And I don't want to speculate as to what, because it's a complete hypothetical. But if you're betting on yourself to lose, that's a completely different story than to win.
Right. And then you twist it. Yeah.
Right. Well, that's what we got trending this morning. I can also tell you before we take our first break about the folks over at Landmark Bank. LandmarkBankLA.com is the website. LandmarkBankLA.com. Been a community bank since 1897. And when you get yourself a community bank, you got yourself a banker, which is unbelievably important when it comes to saving for retirement, when it comes to managing investments. Yeah, you could do that within your own bank when you've got a banker. When it comes to borrowing money, late last year, Christy and I went the HELOC route. I'll tell you about that when we tell you about one bath and closets. But Christy and I went the HELOC route, and having someone to actually sit down, walk through all the parameters of like, okay, here's what you can do, but here's all you really need, right? You want that buffer right there. You want to be led down the right path. Well, when you've got a community bank and a banker, someone you're going to see on a day-to-day basis anywhere around town, then you got a level of trust that you wouldn't have otherwise. Learn more at landmarkbankla.com. Quick break. Sports is next. See, Cate, this is why I was telling you about the lighting, because you've got the two whitest white guys both wearing white shirts. That was just poor calculation on my part. Zero advance. Oh. Yeah, you can come sit. Do what? I might throw on one of the T-shirts that just they're gray T-shirts. Yeah.
You look fine to me. You think you're being washed out?
You know that reel of or that TikTok of all the news bloopers, and it starts with the one girl going, "I so pale."
Oh yeah,
that's me. I so pale.
I so pale.
Actually, we're probably going to shut the light down in about 20 minutes because the sun's coming up fast.
I was going to say you look fine right now, but
but it looks so green screened in the background.
It does. It looks fake in the back.
I know. We should have someone, Cate, just every so often walk through the background.
Cate, so you jump a jet.
Just so people know it's not fake. Just walk halfway through and then do the guns.
Oh Lord, please don't.
Yeah. If you could find a couple of kids with backpacks. Yeah. What's the age range to be a possible? Hey, what's the age range to be a possible donor?
18 to 35.
18 to 35, Byron. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're not going to go digging into people that aren't.
Do you need cuts for sports?
Oh, 16 and 17, please. Sorry, I keep forgetting. Like, if I'm on location, you don't have a sheet.
Are you able to add banners? Guests and stuff on the screen there?
Yes. I'm not gonna. I don't know. It's if I had a separate video producer the whole time, that would be a thing. But I can't hand over my laptop to you to do it because I need my laptop. So.
Oh, Brian, go in StreamYard and put on location for your banner. I mean, it's obvious, but
there you go. Now it says on location on the banner. Yeah. Thank you, Breland. I didn't know that was there.
No problem. I mean, it's obvious, but
yes.
All right, I'm gonna put the 5 for free.
616 Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Morning with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. On location today out at the parade grounds at LSU for the swab event for Team Cate. We'll tell you more about that a little bit later. Hang on. What do you need, Haggai? Oh, okay. Is that better? Okay. Let's get back to the broadcast. We're on location for the Team Cate swab event out here at LSU. It is sports time at Talk 107.3. Actually, you know what? Before we get to sports, when you see us on location in Breland, can you pull me out of my ear? I'm hearing my rollback the whole time. While we're out here on location, the backdrop, as the sun comes up and we've got the lighting in front of us, the backdrop looks very much like we're green screened at this point. And Troy, by the way, I saw Troy yesterday. Troy says, this looks like a Teams call with a virtual background. I assure you that is the actual LSU bell tower behind us and the flagpole behind us. But I'm looking at it right now, and it totally does. So Byron says, y'all look like you are in the VIP section at an Enya concert.
I could not.
I would like to be. Yeah. You ever been to an Enya concert? That sounds very relaxing. You know, it's very Pure Moods is not available in stores, only through this television offer. It is sports time, and it is draft day. NFL draft starts tonight. The Saints, and I'm grabbing this one from our news partners at Louisiana Radio Network. The Saints are looking to make a splash in this year's draft, much like they did last season. New Orleans holds 8 picks this weekend, including the number 8 overall selection. And well, they might go wide receiver. They're probably going to go wide receiver. But a name that keeps popping up in several mock drafts because they need a cornerback is Mansour Delane. General Manager Mickey Loomis, who attended Delane's impressive pro day at LSU, says, Delane, he's an uber talent. Cut 16, please.
I had a good talk with him. He's an impressive young man. I talked to him about some of the things that he was doing in the offseason, and he was great. He had great answers and obviously a really good player. It's going to get taken high.
Saints offensive coordinator Doug Nussmeier will not be with the front office and coaching staff in the building this weekend, which makes sense because he's going to be with his son, Garrett, while he awaits his name to be called. Loomis and Doug will still be involved in the draft process just from afar. Cut 17.
Look, all these questions that may come up in the draft are mostly answered. And so I don't anticipate a lot of questions coming when we're on the clock or during the draft, but I know Doug will be available and we value his input.
Like we said, NFL draft starts tonight. Round 1 is tonight. I believe our sister station 104.5 is covering the draft or will be on it. airing the draft live. So hit up 104.5 once things get started. I believe 7:00, or maybe they're going right to it right after AFR. 6:19 to Talk 107.3 FM. We're going to have the Fox Business Report coming your way in just a little bit. Before that, want to remind you about One Bath and Closets. In fact, I was talking with in that last segment about the possibility of walking the HELOC route. Well, Christy and I did that because we wanted a new bathroom. Long and the short of it is, our house was built in 1964. In late 2025, rolling into 2026, that bathroom was not cutting it anymore. So we called up David Duvall at 400-8005. Called up David Duvall and said, I want you to use all your powers and all your skills. No, we weren't that Don Corleone about it. But we did get a new bathroom, and it's fantastic, from the walk-in shower to the beautiful tile to the 2 vanities to the lighting like you wouldn't even believe. If you didn't build your house, your bathroom wasn't built for you. So give David Duvall and his team a look. OneBathAndClosets.com. Spell it out, ONE, bathandclosets.com.
I'm Liz Clayman, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stock futures are losing ground. Crude oil prices are higher as traders monitor developments in the Iran conflict. Brent crude, the global benchmark, has topped $103 a barrel. West Texas.
Thank you. Terrific. I don't. Because I'm plugged in. So. The hotspot's on the ground right over there. If you wanted to. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. One-sided. Oh, it's 1,000 times. And Devontae's like that. His sound bites and who he is are two different people.
Hi, I'm Nancy Landry. No matter what part of our great state you call home, Louisiana's election.
Thank you. Y'all bear with Bree Lynn. The board for the live show in studio and the board for the live show on the road are two completely different things. So it's going to take throughout the first hour for her to hear the settings, change the settings, but she's been on the spot with it thus far. You don't have volume right now.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so normally I don't have to take things out of 2, 3, and 4,
right?
But I am.
Right.
I never used to have to though, but oh well.
While I'm on location, you do.
I never did before though. Okay.
Really?
Nope. I'm following the picture I took back in December. I never had to take it out.
Okay. No, she's saying she's going to pull things out of 2, 3, and 4 for me not to hear them down here.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, Kate says the only way you should be hearing stuff is the only way we should be hearing is if it's offline.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Traffic.
Oh, I'm on. Okay, please. All right, time to head back to the traffic center, take a good look at what's going on this morning. Let's go ahead and start off on your interstates. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and start on the west side because we've got some really heavy delays. There's construction going on in Port Allen. There's closures on Highway 1 in Port Allen. There's a lot that's being worked on right now. Breland, please pull my voice out of me. I'm catching my rollback the whole time. There's all kinds of delays on Highway 1, looking like Highway 1 southbound. So what's happening on Highway 1 southbound is now backing up on the I-10 westbound. As you go across the bridge, it's going to be stop and go on 10 because as folks are trying to get off at 1, that's backed up as well. So everything is starting over the canal, or the intracoastal, I should say. Or is it? Yeah. And then backs up on Highway 1 southbound from there. And the delays continue on. There's some spillover delays on Highway 1 northbound as a result of the exact same thing that's going on. Meanwhile, the rest of your interstates, if we can give them a quick look, are not too bad to start off the morning. You got your normal congestion, your normal volume, I should say, on I-12 westbound, starting back around Range Avenue in Denham Springs. Then it picks back up again until you get to about Airline. Then it slows back down again until you get to the 10-12 merge. 10 westbound coming in from Ascension Parish looks great. Meanwhile, on your surface streets, there's a couple of accidents to look out for. I'm going to start with one that was about an hour ago, so it should be in the clearing stages. Although if I'm looking, looking at the map, there's still some red on the map. Airline at Scenic, we're looking at an accident that's being worked for the last hour. And also, this one's brand spanking new. Segan and Rieger is being worked right now by the sheriff's office. Those are the two hot spots to look out for on your surface streets. And once again, Highway 1 in Port Allen is our biggest problem to start off the morning. That's your look at traffic from the Talk 107.3 Traffic Center. .645 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Morning from Brian Haldane, rolling right along. We're going to get to a cup of tech gumbo here in exactly 10 minutes. Before that, though, while we have a little while, you know what? Before I get into that, I'm looking for the text right now. Y'all, I'm going to be moderating a congressional debate tonight. Going to be out in Livingston Parish. So I wanted to give a quick shout out to the Liberty Bells Republican Women's Club and the Livingston Parish Republican Women. There's a 5th Congressional District debate tonight. I'll be moderating. Our panelists will be Jeremy Idell from he's the mayor of French Settlement, McHugh David from Livingston Parish News, and Abigail Whitman from WBRZ Channel 2. As I understand it, all 7 candidates on the Republican side are in this debate. I ran into a couple of them, a couple of those candidates at the state capitol yesterday. And in talking with the folks putting this one on, it's going to be a pretty big one. It's going to be a pretty comprehensive forum, probably looking at about an hour and a half runtime, where this isn't just like a little town hall. They're doing this one up to get a full-on debate between all 7 Republican candidates in the 5th Congressional District. So you will see, the big 3 you hear of everywhere. Well, I guess you can consider Misty Cordell within that number, so the big 4. But they're going to have everybody there. Everyone will get full opportunity. It's not like triage to where the top candidates get more airtime. But this will be tonight, 7 o'clock, out at Live Oak High School up in Watson. So if you wanted to make your way out there, I don't know how much room is available inside the room, but I would opt for this. Start searching for it online. It's going to be streamed through a million different platforms. So you can look for that. The Liberty Bells and the Livingston Parish Republican Women putting on their congressional debate tonight. Let me take a quick second to remind you about 180 Pros. 180pros.com is their website, 180pros.com. Not your IT provider, your IT partner. With 180 Pros, what you're getting that you might not get everywhere else, well, simplified billing is one thing that they push very hard. And because it's an unbelievable convenience. When you have simplified billing, you're not spending half your time as a small business owner rummaging through line item after line item to see where you're being nickeled and dimed. No, simplified billing is basically a one-page invoice. Number 2, and this one I like a lot, is the same-day response time. You call them within business hours, they're going to get to you that day. It's when you're a small business owner, if your network's down, your entire livelihood is down. So same-day response time, also important. Learn more at 180pros.com. Oh, also, they are local. So you can call them at 225-330-2200 for 180 Pros. We've got, how much time do we have before news? Oh, plenty. We got 2.5 minutes. Big night last night out at the Metro Council as the mayor's proposed pay raise cleared the hurdle. Didn't just clear it, flew past the hurdle. As I understand it, I was at a different event at the time. As I understand it, it was 9 yay votes, no nay votes, and 3 abstaining. 9-0-3. So nobody voted against this thing. And the police are going to see a major pay raise. And this is unbelievably overdue. Our police force is down a huge number of officers. And the only way you can clear that hurdle and get that number of officers is by paying folks. Because if you're not paying folks, you're not going to get the quality of officer that Baton Rouge demands, that Baton Rouge needs. if you're underpaying your officers, what's going to end up happening there is you get people with the wrong motivation. You get people who are unmotivated. You get people who are unqualified. When you can pay officers what you should be paying them, and by the way, a new starting salary of $58,000 a year actually puts BRPD $1,000 a year ahead of state police. This is huge. This was a big, big win last night for Baton Rouge. But also, this was a big win last night for Mayor President Sid Edwards. Because from the time he was elected through now, the mayor hasn't had a big public win. Now, the mayor has been doing all kinds of work behind the scenes to clean up the mess that was the previous two administrations. The mayor has been doing all kinds of work behind the scenes to make sure all the books are balanced and all the nickels and dimes are in order, and all of Baton Rouge's finances, which for so long have been largely built off of federal emergency funding in St. George and spinning plates. And he's done all of that, but there's not been a big public win. This was a public win, and he needs to, well, I would say he needs to take a victory lap, but I already know he's at work on the next thing, which is now that police have a raise, how are you going to everybody else a raise? Because when he pitched this to begin with, that was part of the original pitch was, let's get this done first, and then we'll get to everybody else after that. So that's what he's working on next. But kudos to all of Sid Edwards' office, and kudos to the 9-0-3 vote in the Metro Council last night, because those that are protecting us, they're going to get a very substantial raise. Quick break. We got Cup of Tech Gumbo next. All right. You should have volume now.
All right.
There you go.
Watching the news, it was a little controversial last night.
The news made it look controversial?
Yeah.
Wow.
Both channels, 9 and 2.
Really?
Yeah.
How so?
Because they were trying to get the rest of the constable's office and the rest of the city workers a raise too, and we're accusing, like, you're not going to be able to. We think you're going to pass this, but the next one's not going to pass, and those kinds of things. And at one point, Hearst said, "Show of hands, who's in that?" Through all kind of like, wait, you're asking people to vote in advance of an actual real vote, and they made it look quite controversial.
Well, okay. I was at a different event, and then I met up with some everybody who was at that after the fact. I heard that happened, but it was like minimal. So
with a 9-0 and 3 vote, right. It wasn't obviously that controversial. It just and Mayor Edwards was promising, look, we're coming back on May 13th with a proposal.
Yeah,
I mean, like, if you've got a date like that, come on, take the win and move on.
Well, I what the constable's office doesn't want is for us to know just how useless they are. It's a glorified position. They execute bench warrants. I mean, that's not worthy of a raise. It's an elected position too.
Mm-hmm.
So and I know somebody's going to correct me on what the role of the office is, but that's their primary function.
Right.
We good? No, it ends up making it.
We ain't setting up barbecue pits.
Right. Nobody's leaving a mess. Sorry, someone moved your cheese. Oh, was he nice about it? Okay, well that's his beef isn't with us; it's with them. Yeah. Yeah, I assure you, his beef is not with us; it's with them. And I also assure you, he probably has legitimate reason for said beef. It has nothing to do with today. So, do what, Breland?
I was just saying,
Yeah, gonna hear the other half of that conversation.
Look at that. The athletic director send me a happy birthday wish.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Nice. Which one you start? What do you want to start with this morning?
Let's see. Do you want to go back to Tim Cook?
Yeah. Unless you want to start, and this is completely off of what you sent, but Calshi.
Well,
Put the kibosh on 3 congressional candidates.
Well, yeah, that's kind of because we did talk about Calshi on this week's show.
Yeah,
actually, last week's show.
You and I talked about Calshi.
Yeah.
Last time you were on.
coming back in.
Love it. It's like a Mike Post right after he was done with the Hill Street Blues theme. He did Night Court and then comes over to us, right?
Dave Matthews Band.
That's 636 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. You hear Haggai Davis right there. We're about to get into Cup of Tech Gumbo in just a quick minute, but I do need to remind you about Guarantee Health Solutions, guaranteehealth.com, focusing very heavily on patient acquisition and retention strategy that drive lifetime value. This is an idea of Rachel Fricke that was born out of a need for better hospitality in the medical field. She had been through a pretty traumatic experience with loved ones, and it was very transactional, which you can't have when, life is on the line, when emotions run that high. She put together a 4-pillar system that builds things out for your business. If you're in the medical field, if it's for your business, but it starts with making sure that whatever you're talking about with innovation or reputation management, it starts with that reputation. And that reputation starts with a relationship with the patient. Learn more at guaranteehealth.com, guaranteehealth.com. Time for a Cup of Tech Gumbo. Let's go.
Must be an on button somewhere.
It's time for a Cup of Tech Gumbo.
That sounds good. I'll have that.
Haggai Davis talks technology news using language even Brian can understand.
You just don't get it.
I don't have your head for science, so I'm not going to be able to help much.
For a full serving, check out Tech Gumbo, Saturdays at 11 a.m. and Sundays at 4 p.m.
We got 30 years worth of files right here in this computer that are going to bring you down.
A Cup of Tech Gumbo on Talk 107.3.
I'm sorry, wrong password.
How are you, Haggai?
I am great.
Likewise.
Today's my birthday.
Oh, yeah, happy birthday. Well, I was going to tell you a happy anniversary, but that's like all of 2 days ago.
Well, it's the best 72 hours of my year.
Right. You get it all done.
Yeah.
That's
the 21st
so
is my
efficient.
anniversary, 23rd, my birthday, and all the celebrations done, and we can move on.
Oh, well, happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you meeting me out here, man. We don't get out of the studio much, so.
It's a great day to get out.
Isn't it, though?
Man, it's beautiful
Man,
weather.
look, I love this backdrop on the parade grounds here.
Chamber of Commerce weather kind of thing.
Yeah. We got off lucky with a slight little shower last night, kind of knocked the temp just back down enough, enough. So, but no, I appreciate you coming out. It's going to be a big day out here for Team Cate. If you are 18 to 35 years old, they're doing a swab event to see if you're eligible to donate bone marrow. Cate is through the St. Jude is what we're looking for here, and it's just we'll get to more of that a little bit later on in the show. Right now, though, I don't want to eat up Haggai's time too much because we got a lot to talk about. Can we start with something that was in our trending stories this morning? You and I talked about Kalshi a couple weeks ago, and I know it's not betting; it's investing, right? Technically.
Yes.
Well, Kalshi put the kibosh on 3 congressional candidates betting on themselves or investing in themselves.
Well, we don't know how the investment went.
Well, was it pro or con? Right?
Exactly.
Well, so that's what I wanted to ask. If you're investing in yourself to win, how is that a bad thing?
Well, ask Pete Rose.
That's betting. If Kalshi's going to describe themselves as an investment, then if they're investing in themselves to win, I mean, is it possible? Like, I look at, like, is there insider information that they would be privy to that we wouldn't be able to even know about?
Sure. And I would imagine that's part of the issue with Kalshi is that there is so much insider information that's available that you can scam the system. And I'm guessing they're trying to be somewhat legitimate.
Mm-hmm.
But, and so, we make a couple of sacrificial lambs here and hey, we're legitimate. Look, we caught these guys and so now we're legitimate.
Right. Well, but are they though?
I mean, they are to the extent that for the vast majority of the people who are investing in Kalshi, it's you're taking the risk with your money.
Right.
But for those who have the inside know of things coming up, then sure, get in there and throw your money in early and then walk away quietly with the rewards.
So what I wonder here is, if you're betting against yourself, obviously you can tank. Obviously you have the potential to alter the actual market based off of your own words or actions. If you are betting on yourself to win, though, I don't would they be worried about running the risk of, okay, candidate A has been doing opposition research on candidate B. Candidate A has found out that candidate B, let's just call him, I don't know, Larry Vaughn. Candidate A found out that Larry Vaughn has been sleeping around, and they've got pictures of him leaving, a young girl's apartment, and they're about to drop this, October surprise on somebody. I know we got close primaries, but they're about to drop this October surprise on somebody. So right before they do so, if they're like a plus 350 to win, I don't know what the odds look like on their how they stack their odds yet. I'm just saying but if they're like a plus 350 to win, they know that after this bombshell announcement, it's going to be like even money. They would go ahead and invest in themselves now before the odds change.
Well, the interesting thing to me about it is if you're a candidate and you're dumb enough to put it in your own name, maybe that is Kalshi just weeding out the stupid.
Okay. That's legitimate. That's fair.
I mean, why, if you're candidate A and you're about to, blow up candidate B, why are you not having a staffer or use an alias, use a Gmail account when you're registering within some kind of alias? And
right.
I mean, that way it's not, hey, I'm candidate A and I'm dumping all this money in. So, I mean, if you're that stupid, okay, you don't need to be in elected office.
Well, that's fair as well. We got a lot to cover, and it's going to be kind of quick hit on the first set. Well, no, let's move over to part 2. It was in our trending stories yesterday. Tim Cook is cooked. Tim Cook is on his way out over at Apple. I called him the Smoke Laval of CEOs. Is that accurate?
No, because he had some wins.
So did Smoke.
Yeah, I mean, so Tim Cook in his 15 years as CEO, and he's just stepping down as CEO. He's still going to be the chairman of the board.
Yeah.
Or executive chairman of the board, or whatever the title is.
His board spelled BORED?
Probably.
Based off of what Apple puts out lately?
The one thing he did was the price of the Apple stock went up 1,500% during his time.
Yep. Oh, you're setting me up so good. Keep going.
So that's hard to compare him to Smoke Laval when you've got that kind of a win.
what Tim Lavelle got, I'm sorry, what Tim Cook got wins on was great for Apple stockholders, not for Apple customers.
Oh, absolutely.
As a customer for Apple, it was blah at best. It wasn't even mid. It was so below par.
The only thing that really substantially came out during the Tim Cook era was the AirPods.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, congrats. We now Bluetooth what goes in your ear.
And that's I mean, there was no innovation in the phones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. We got 5 more lenses on the back of the phone. Great. I can take 8K pictures instead of just 4K pictures.
Which, by the way, if your iPhone gets too old, they start going south anyway.
Exactly.
I'm learning that right now with my really old iPhone.
And so the iPads did not improve at all. The iTunes, certainly there's nothing new there. I mean, there's not been any kind of innovation under Tim Cook.
Wait, I want to follow up on the phone, on the camera thing.
Yeah.
Do cameras regress, or is it just that other pictures are getting better? Because I feel like if I go to like one of my kids' sporting events and I try to take Abraham Zapruder had better video quality than me. So like, is it my camera's regressing?
I don't know. That's an interesting question. I have to do some research on that.
I started Googling it a little bit, and apparently it's a pretty widespread problem where people are like, my picture, and they'll scroll back to old pictures that they've taken.
Which is why professional photographers use real cameras.
Sure.
The convenience of having the camera on your phone is there for convenience. It's not to be a photographer at a wedding with.
No, I understand that. I get that. It's just if they're going to sell me with there's 30 lenses on the back and it's supposed to give you this level of quality, that level of quality should be just like a baseline.
Well, it is for the first 6 months,
right? And
for the warranty of the phone.
That's my point. Is if the camera is going to regress.
Smartphones were only ever designed to last 18 months.
Has that always been the case?
Yes, that's always been the case. 18 months in that way. Once they've gone past that use, you're going to go buy new ones. That's why there's always got a new phone out
Which brings us back around to Tim Cook. You said something to me yesterday at Rotary that stuck with me. When it comes to Tim Cook, he pivoted Apple from and to. Go ahead.
It's to the subscription model.
Yeah,
they are all about recurring revenue as opposed to just selling hardware. And that's the Tim Cook legacy.
Yeah, which as a customer sucks.
Sure does.
So
as a stockholder in Apple, I love it.
He's that guy, Davis. We do a Cup of Tech Gumbo about this time every single week, whether we're in studio or not, which today we're not. So let's take a quick break. We'll check traffic. We'll check your money now. We got a whole stack of topics to cover coming up next.
Hey, Michelle.
When it comes to Tim Cook, he pivoted Apple
as a stockholder in Apple
or not, which today we're not. So let's go about this time every single week, whether we're in single week, every single week.
Science. Check out Tech Gummies at 4 p.m.
30 years worth right here. This.
Damn.
Broadcast. Likewise.
Today's.
How are you, Hag? How are you, Haggai?
I am great.
5 things to plug in and 4 things to plug into. Because normally I plug my laptop straight into a wall.
What colder is it, Brian? When I walked out to get to the truck, it wasn't that cold. It's colder now than it was.
So Matt Kennedy has explained to me what this is. There's a name for it. But as the sun breaks the horizon, the temperature dips by 4 degrees, 4 to 5 degrees.
Okay.
So, you rule.
Good morning, Breland.
Good morning. How are you, Haggai?
Doing great. Don't get to see you this morning.
I know, but you get to enjoy the view. Is it cold? Did I hear you say it's chilly a little bit?
It's gotten colder since I sat down. Yes. Brian was just explaining that the temperature drops right before the sun's coming up.
I didn't know. I never knew that.
I didn't either.
I never knew that. I do know that we have a cool front coming in May, of all things, but it ain't going to be cold.
No, be cool. It's a cool front at that point.
Yeah, right.
What the hell?
Wouldn't know.
You almost need a cup of coffee, Haggai, but there ain't none.
It's not public yet, so it's. Oh man. Okay, Haggai, where do you want to go next? Because we were still talking about Tim Cook on the way in the break, right?
Yeah.
Move from you said hardware service to a subscription service.
Yep.
Is there a way for the next guy to pivot back? Because I think that's what the mission is to get back to product.
So the next guy came out of the hardware division. That's what his role at Apple for 25 years has been, and he's moved up through the ranks of building new hardware. The problem I see is that nobody has been able to innovate in the smartphone world in a long time. And unless we're going to get into 3D holograms on our phones or something like that, I don't know where you can pivot to make the things more exciting.
So, but that's the thing, though, right? It's going to take that guy. It's going to take the next,
it's going to take the next Steve Jobs.
Correct.
And I don't know if he's out there.
Well, but is the hardware guy the Steve Jobs, or is he more closer to the Wozniak?
Well, Tim Cook was a hardware guy too.
Was he?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes, and so he was there for 15 years before he became the CEO kind of thing, and so he's done a really good job of every year putting out a new version of the hardware kind of stuff, and the software updates are a little bit better each time.
But it's a fresh set of lipstick on the same pig.
It is not even fresh lipstick. I mean, it's just the same color lipstick on the same pig, and it just, my hope is that somebody out there who's really bright and creative find something new to do with these phones or these smart devices that we communicate with in our lives now go through. I mean, yeah, so if you want to say that's something that, because of all the apps that are available, but I don't think Tim Cook was that guy that created our lives that we live through our phones now.
What's the possibility? What's the possibility of the back to basics? Like this we've got so much, well, the FCC won't let me say the word. We got so much to do on our phone, right? So much to do. Is there a world where the next genius says, we're going to start back over. Here's a dumb phone. We're going to start back over with a phone. And then once you take everything away, you can maximize where it goes next, because then you'll recognize what's missing.
Probably not. We've
because there's too much money to be left on the table.
We're too committed with all of the apps. I mean, your banking apps and your hotel apps and every app, your travel apps and your apps. For,
no, I understand, but I want a Jerry Maguire the cell phone. Fewer apps.
Yeah, you can still
less money.
You can go out and get a flip phone with nothing but the 10 keys on it.
No, you can do that, but not through like. I'm not walking into. I don't need a burner phone.
Right.
It's not going to be my primary phone though. I'm looking for that third avenue. Is where I'm wondering if that's going to happen. And you're more than likely right. It's probably not.
I just don't see a world in the near future. Let's put it that way, where you're not doing everything through your phone. And that's disappointing because I hate looking at a small screen like that. I'm old.
Same. And you can connect it back to your TV, or I could just watch TV.
Yes.
I'm not that particular. Want to pivot because we've only got about 6 minutes left. So, yesterday at the Rotary Club, Devontae Lewis,
yes,
Public Service Commissioner, was talking about data centers and the need for and whatnot. Meanwhile, in the prep in the
32 pages of Word documents.
Yes, you had a story that says we're using so much AI that computing firepower is running out.
So out there, these data centers, they are using more and more power. But it's not just the data centers that are using more and more power. If you look at everything that you have plugged in your house compared to 20 years ago, look at what's plugged in right here in front of us. You just went looking for an extension cord
to plug my laptop.
You've got 5 things you need to get plugged in on this table.
Right.
And that's we're using.
And you're running off battery because that would be 6.
But I'm going to go and charge it as soon as I get home.
Right.
My phone and the laptop. So, I mean, look at all the things that you have plugged in now. Now they're using electricity more efficiently.
Sure.
So it's not like the old incandescent bulbs that 100 watts, where now the LED bulbs are only using 11 watts.
Right.
But we have 10 more bulbs than we used to have. So we're actually
and that's just in the master bath at the Haldane house, thanks to one bath and closet.
There you go. Love that segue into that. That's a true radio professional.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So, we're using as consumers so much more electricity, and then you have these big data centers that are power hogs, and the fact that we're not doing more things like having solar, which we've talked about multiple times, having wind, having the Mississippi River out there with the continuous flow of water, having big turbines out there to push drives, is just why are we not doing other things? Because we need to do more than just what we're doing.
Now, in order for that to happen, and I'm going to lose my entire audience right now. In order for that to happen, politics has to stop. Because if you're on the left, you don't want to fund that which we already know in the energy generation field. If you're on the right, you don't want to fund what it takes to grow that energy generation to a true all of the above approach.
And it's interesting. A state like Texas, really, really deep red state like Texas, has more solar power generation than any other state in the United States.
Yeah.
Because they have so much more sun. That's a big, huge state, and they have a lot of sun there.
Well, they have the combination of sun plus useless land.
Exactly. So
I wouldn't go to a meet and tell the Liuzes stop growing strawberries because we got to cover all that with sun.
I understand, but there's a whole lot of rooftops that are sitting there that could have solar panels up on those rooftops that are doing nothing.
Yeah.
And so it's not an either or, it's a both of them together.
Well, and also we've seen that, like, if you want to improve on something, improve the efficiency of something, you've got to invest in it on the front end. But politically, I don't think we can get there, because politically, if I tell somebody about solar, they're going to tell me it's not efficient enough. If I tell somebody every Mississippi River bridge we have should have the turbines on each and every piling that comes out of the water, and they're going to tell you that's not efficient. And I'm like, the only way to make it more efficient is to start doing it. And you don't get better at shooting free throws by not shooting free throws.
It comes back to not just the generation, but also the batteries.
All right. He's Haggai Davis, full serving of Tech Gumbo, Saturdays and Sundays, right here on Talk 107.3 FM, and of course, everywhere you get your podcasts on demand. Appreciate you coming out this morning.
You bet.
Hour 2 is coming up next on Talk 107.3.
So China has generated. They've put more money into batteries, but also the batteries.
All right, he's Haggai Davis, right here on Talk 107.3 FM, coming out this morning.
Especially their EVs, and we talked about that. They're 20 years ahead of the United States on what to do with batteries right now.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So So we're actually
and that's just in the master bath at the Haldane house, thanks to one
home.
Right.
My phone and 11 watts, but we have 10 more bulbs than we used to have. So we're actually
and that's just in the master bath at the Haldane house, thanks to one bath and closet.
There you go. Love that segue into that. That's a true radio professional. There,
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So my phone and the laptop. So I mean, look at all the things. You've got 5 things you need to get plugged in on this table,
right?
And that's where
you're running off battery because that would be sick. Phone,
right?
It's not going to be my primary phone though. I'm looking for that third app.
You're not doing everything through your phone.
Firepower is running out.
So
thank you.
So more things like having
my entire audience right now. In order for that to happen, politics has to stop. I don't think in order for that,
what are we not doing? Is
I just wanted a tie-dye shirt, so I got the tie-dye shirt. This is the first shirt.
just why are we not doing so much more electricity? And then you have these big data centers that are power hogs. And the fact that we're not, but we have 10 more bulbs than we used to have. So we're actually,
and politics has to stop.
The things more exciting.
So, but that's the thing, though, right? Oh man. Okay, Haggai, where do you want to go next? Because as
a stockholder in Apple, I love it.
About this time every single week, right along. Haggai did right along. Every single week. Oh man. Okay, Haggai, where do you want to go next? Because
Jimmy D. Haldane. Thanks, y'all.
How are you, Haggai?
This is the South.
Yeah, that's it in Mississippi.
It's 3.6 first semester. She's gonna be right on it. Like it's gonna be final.
Being in a new place though, I mean, being able to kind of settle in and.
She had a boyfriend and a sorority for the second semester.
It takes up time.
It does.
Absolutely. She does any intramural sports or anything?
Yeah, she plays basketball. So over to the rec. It's called Payne. It's named after someone whose last name's Payne.
With a Y?
What?
Like Major Payne?
P-A-Y-N-E.
I believe so.
Cool deal.
The rec is called like where their gym and their weight room and that's called the Payne. Their student union where you can eat is called the Fresh, which I love that one. That's the Fresh. More than Fresh.
Whatever.
I heard of that.
One of these places. It's a 459. That's what it is. The 459. One of the places to eat here on campus.
Interesting. I hadn't heard of that.
Yeah, I don't know where it is. I just know.
Was it based on some kind of gear marking?
It was just student union for me, or Foster.
See, it was Hatcher for about 2 weeks, and then I started in fraternity, and I ate at the fraternity house forever.
And they had that cafeteria by Power Hall. Power Hall's going.
Oh, yeah.
So. But honestly, you know where I ate more than anywhere while I was at LSU? Rocco's.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Rocco's wasn't around yet.
No, you're older than he is.
Was it in the same location it's currently at?
No.
It was right down the
It
hill.
was underneath Lebanese restaurant.
Over there by Cliff Chai.
It started off down, but then it moved up the hill on top of it, didn't it? Or was it always
It was
downstairs?
always downstairs. It was always that. Had like 3 tables. Don't know how he ever made it. I mean, he was probably paying nothing in rent.
We went to the library.
Yeah, and I'd go sit in the Greek amphitheater. Today was nice. I'd go sit in the Greek amphitheater and eat my roast beef.
We always went to the library. The bar.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Coming back in, Brian, whenever you're ready.
7:05, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Hour 2 coming your way right now. Brian Haldane with you. Bree Lynn back in the friendly confines of the 180 Pro studio. We are out on location today on LSU's parade grounds. And the reason we're out here is for Team Cate. And I need to, I didn't pull up the description here. So this is called the swab event is what we're doing. And the swab event is we're looking for bone marrow donors is who we're looking for, 18 to 35 years old. If you fit that description, swing on by LSU today, because Talk 107.3 is proud to support a Baton Rouge family and an 11-year-old St. Jude patient named Kate. She's searching for a life-saving bone marrow match. We are, like I said, on location on LSU's campus today. We're on the parade grounds directly across from the student union, right here by Highland Road. So you know what corner we're at on the parade grounds. The swab event is going to be going on from, I want to say it is 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. today. It's a quick little cheek swab. We'll let you know if you're eligible to donate if you so choose. So if you're 18 to 35 years old, one easy cheek swab could help save a life. Or if you can't make it out here, text Team Cate to 61474 for more information. We got a busy second hour for you. Jason DeQueer from Advantage Consulting going to be on the hotline in our next segment. Lieutenant Don Capola is supposed to swing by for Crime Stoppers today. He's supposed to join us out on location. But right now, though, let's hit you up with top stories and trending.
Number 5.
A man who was allegedly headed to Louisiana to commit a mass shooting in an upcoming festival was taken into custody in Florida. The Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office said he was arrested at a Destin hotel. Sheriff's Office shared a photo of a handgun and 3 boxes of ammunition alongside a picture of the suspect when he was being taken into custody. They have not released the man's name. They did say he was from North Carolina. Not initially clear which festival the man was headed to. But Louisiana, we got Jazz Fest starts this weekend. Festival International, if I'm not mistaken, over in Lafayette is this weekend as well. And we have everything around, everything all around the state. We've got festivals for it. So probably headed to one of the big 2 between Jazz Fest and International.
Number 4.
Amazon unveiled a new initiative coming to Baton Rouge over the summer. Amazon Prime Air will be delivering packages around the capital city via the MK30 drone, a new technology. Well, it's new, but it's also already been deployed in 7 cities across the country. The company says the drone will be able to deliver small items to addresses within 7 miles of the fulfillment center.
Number 3.
Deputies arrested 6 people in a massive drug bust. I believe the arrest happened last Thursday, so it was a week ago that this happened, after they found nearly 5,000 lethal doses of fentanyl, 15 pounds of meth, a slew of other drugs, 3D printed gun parts, and more than $20,000 in cash throughout 3 Baton Rouge homes.
Number 2.
This weekend, the DEA, a.k.a. the Drug Enforcement Administration, is hosting their annual prescription drug take-back in Louisiana and nationwide. In Baton Rouge, Saturday, the DEA and volunteers from Louisiana Blue will be collecting donations of prescription drugs and over-the-counter medications at BRPD's headquarters on Airline Highway. This is going to be from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m.
Number 1.
Big win for Baton Rouge. Big win for BRPD. Big public win for Mayor President Sid Edwards. EBR Metro Council last night approved historic pay raises for the Baton Rouge Police Department. They're going to consider raises for other departments coming up May 13th. That plan is being worked on right now, though it hasn't been finalized. This is a nearly 40% raise. department-wide for BRPD, and it's long overdue, and it's very needed for us to take care of those who serve and protect Baton Rouge. It's going to bring the pay for starting officers alone, and you can get scale on this on their website. But for starting officers, their starting pay, $40,000 gets bumped up to $58,000. That is the biggest starting pay in our geographic area. It's also, when I say historic, I'm not being hyperbolic. It's also the biggest pay raise in BRPD history.
Top stories are in the books. Now let's check in on what's trending.
Brian, I'm going to give it to you. You always know. You always know. You and Franz pretty much predicted this one yesterday. George Clooney and his wife donated $1 million to the Southern Poverty Law Center yesterday.
You knew that. You had to know that was coming. That was not a difficult prediction to make.
I know, but you always know.
But it's like as soon as they were indicted, that's the next domino to fall. Is if they're under attack, those who support them are going to be going out to support them with their dollars. That was so predictable. Now, here's the other part of this, though, is that how much more are we going to see? I saw the story about George Clooney and his wife. You're telling me there's a whole army of folks out there ready to just fling money at those who are inciting racism to protect us against racism.
Right. Secretary of the Navy John Phelan is departing the administration effective immediately. The Pentagon's top spokesman said Wednesday.
Aren't we? I'm not trying to be, presumptive about this, but aren't we kind of in the middle of what's it called?
War?
A war? Yeah.
Right.
Are we kind of in the middle of a war right now? Should the head of the Navy be ducking out early on a Friday afternoon? You're not Peter Gibbons in Office Space. You're not looking for Lumberg coming by your cubicle. You're the head of the freaking Navy.
Stapler. Yes, but yeah.
Yeah,
So
Peter, I'm gonna need you to work Saturday, okay?
Yeah, please do. So I was wondering, and I kept thinking, well, why? So without going down the rabbit hole, bottom line, disagreements on Navy strategy, internal fights at the Pentagon. It's just, but the thing is, can we get through the war and then we can get rid of them?
Well, so that brings up a whole other question about when you're there to serve, even at the very top of the ranks, you're still there for service. Right. So I don't know.
We're at the peak of a war right now. So it's just, there's
and the other part is how much naval strategy is needed here. I realize like where Iran is on the map, on the Persian Gulf and whatnot, but it's if you jam up the Strait of Hormuz, you've jammed them up all the way back as well, right?
Right.
Like there's no alternate route. It's not like, if 12 westbound is jammed up, you could take Florida. Once you jam up the Strait of Hormuz, once you have that blockade going, I mean, it's not exactly set it and forget it, but where you are.
Correct.
Said Kesha.
The prediction market, Kalshi, said on Wednesday that it had suspended accounts belonging to 3 congressional candidates for allegedly betting on their own races. The candidates named in regulatory filings as Ezekiel Enriquez in Texas, Matt Klein in Minnesota, and Mark Moran in Virginia.
That's so awesome. That's so good. It's just, well, first of all, shout out to Kalshi. They got it right. Shout out to Kalshi. They definitely got this one right. But it's awesome because like there's this brand new thing that we all want to play with. This is a brand new shiny toy that we all want to have at it. And before anybody really gets at it, somebody goes and Pete Roses the whole situation.
Right.
So good on Kalshi for putting the kibosh on it before it could be really a thing. But for the rest of us, it's like we want to play. Kalshi's like, oh, we're going to make that happen. You're going to get to play. Don't you worry your pretty little head. You're going to get to play. So good on them. 713 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. We are due up for a quick break when we come. Oh, I think the LSU bell tower disagrees with me and says it's 7:15.
Right.
My clock says 7:13. I think they're fast. We got Jason DeQueer up next. You care if I do something with one of those shirts? I'll fold it back up and
Hey, good morning, y'all. Sorry, we are in commercial right now, but when Brian picks up, probably about 2 minutes, we'll come to y'all. No problem.
The sun is just right around us. Yeah, we have to make it stretch out.
I meant to ask, we are talking to Jason, correct?
Drop that back down. See if just hanging it.
Blake Oregon. Okay. I'm going to let him know. Okay. Hey, Brian.
No, this really doesn't.
Is this metal?
Yeah.
Plastic. Nope.
Hey, Siri.
Kind of metal that a magnet.
Call Brian Haldane.
Oh.
Call Brian Haldane.
Calling Brian. Calling
That's
Brian
right.
Haldane.
Well, you know what? That might happen. Let's see.
It's really just more.
Hello?
Hey, I didn't want you to come back in and not know. Almost. I'm putting you back on. You're not talking to Jason. No, it's Blake. When you're ready.
7:15, talking to 3 FM, WBRP. Morning with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. But that's actually worse somehow. We're trying to block out the sun over here as it's rising up above the trees as we're on the parade grounds out at LSU for the Team Cate swab event. We'll tell you about that again in a little while. Right now, though, we go to the hotline back in studio where we've got Blake Ordaz from Advantage Consulting on with us, walking us through the legislative session. Blake, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. We got gorgeous weather out here on the LSU parade grounds, so setting up to be a good day. Hopefully, we can get do a little bit of good before it's all said and done. So, I appreciate you hopping on board today. We had you on about 2 weeks ago talking about the session. From then till now, where has your attention been?
Yeah, I will say, it's a little quiet on the tax front, but the same bills we were talking about before are mostly moving.
Mm-hmm.
So, in particular, the aerospace incentives, I think those are about to hit the finish line. They're pending Senate final passage, and yeah, they're going.
Okay, so for those that are not up to speed on this, because I know it was a hot headline for a quick minute, and then it just kind of disappeared as the sausage is made and it makes its way through the process. What are the intent of the bills, and what do they actually do?
Yeah, so we have one bill which would be a sales and use tax rebate on certain purchases used in aerospace facilities,
Mm-hmm.
and then the other bill would extend ITEP to aerospace manufacturing facilities. And for those not familiar, ITEP is a property tax abatement for new investment from a manufacturing facility.
Now, are there companies we're specifically targeting here? Because I know, if you talk aerospace technology or aerospace businesses, I don't know that there's a big pool of companies where we would be calling on here. So how targeted is this? How specific could it be?
So LED's been pretty explicit that there's no specific project in mind when testifying on these. It's just the general industry as a whole. One thing that they keep mentioning is that there's been a 77% increase in the aerospace industry.
Right.
Since it's gone private. And so they're really trying to capitalize on that and pretty much make us the next big state. I think there's heavy investment in Texas and Florida. And they did mention that Texas and Florida were full, quote unquote. I'm not sure exactly what they're saying by that, but they just want to gear Louisiana to be the next big state.
Now you give me homework. I want to find out what that means, that Texas and Florida are full. But
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely what's, and if you'll pardon the pun, it's what's on the horizon. Because I know this isn't a direct comp, but when we saw that the LNG world was about to open up, we got all of our ducks in a row, and now we have a ton of LNG that has been announcement after announcement after announcement, right? Between Venture and Woodside and everything else, and I don't want to leave any out, but I know I am. Same thing with, as you see carbon capture about to be a bigger and bigger player. We got primacy, right? It's just we're staying one step ahead on those fronts. So this would be the next big front to dive into. So this is, I don't know, I'm fired up about it. How fired up are you about it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a big thing here too is that it's not just direct aerospace manufacturing. I mean, it's all upstream and downstream stuff. So people manufacturing the small parts from the top that'll be sent over to the actual, launch facilities, et cetera. And then even they did mention jet fuel could be considered an activity.
Really?
So it's not just that, those major facilities. It would include everybody that's got any sort of stake in this.
So okay, so something simple of that. That's not too far. That's not too far of a diversion from what our wheelhouse is. If our wheelhouse is gas, if our wheel is oil and gas, if our wheelhouse is right there, stepping into jet fuel, pivoting over there, that does. I don't know a whole lot about the chemistry behind it, but it feels like that would be pretty close to what our wheelhouse already was.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's something they testify on too. We have such a great infrastructure already set up for this that makes us so competitive for the industry. So these incentives should just help, even make us even more competitive.
Got Blake Ordez from Advantis Consulting on with us, talking a little bit about the legislative session. As there's not a whole lot on the tax front right now, I do know that a couple of folks were looking at the state income tax and whether or not we're going to take our next step with paring that down, hopefully towards moving it towards zero. What are you hearing on that front? Have those bills gotten any traction?
Unfortunately, all of those bills have been voluntarily deferred, which means they're unlikely to be brought back throughout session. We're certainly keeping an eye on it. But it doesn't look like that's advancing this session. Maybe next session where we do have a fiscal session, so it would be primarily tax. But at this time, I don't think they're advancing unless something changes. With the inventory tax election, it's possible they're not dead, but at this time, it doesn't appear so.
Well, you actually walked me right up to my next question, and that is. When it comes to moves like this and pivots like this, and we do have, is it Amendment 4 on our May ballot that would involve the inventory tax? How much do we need to have a little bit of patience, a little wait and see to see with what movements we've already done, what effect they're going to have on the budget before we make our next move?
Yeah, that's a great question. I do think the governor in his opening statement this session had mentioned that if this constitutional amendment passes, he might call a special session, I believe, and please don't quote me on that, but that he might call a special session to visit reducing the income tax rate. So we'll definitely have to see, and then we still have to wait and see if parishes even elect to do the exemption, which I think they have until July 1st, 2027. So again, I can't answer that definitively, but
no, I'm not asking you to give a definitive answer. I'm asking you to guess, to prognosticate, to say something that I can hold you to later on. No, I'm just kidding. We got just a couple minutes left with Blake Ordez as we're talking about the ongoing legislative session. If we're stepping away from tax bills, but I kind of want to dovetail with that. There's a want to have a constitutional convention at some point. Do you, and I apologize if I'm asking you about something that's out of your wheelhouse, but do you know if that idea has gotten any traction?
I haven't heard anything personally. They bring this bill every year to do the constitutional convention, but we never really see it advance. We'll see it being heard in committee, but I don't see any traction with that at this time. I mean, that's subject to change, but
no, yeah. I mean, I understand. It's just there's always a need for sure. And with the with the tax mindset that this current legislature has, and if we have to revamp everything from scratch, this would be the group that would actually want to do it. I mean, I might be on an island on that one, but I can't imagine a more business friendly is one way to put it, but tax simplification wise, this would be the group that I think would be able to get that done. So, in the meanwhile,
Absolutely.
What else are you looking at right now?
Yeah, I mean, on a similar note with the income tax, we did see a ton of bills brought this session to increase the homestead exemption.
Okay.
Unfortunately, those do not appear to be moving, but there is one constitutional amendment to increase the homestead exemption for property owners age 65 and older.
Mm-hmm.
So this would actually, every 4 years, that person would receive an additional $6,000 in a homestead exemption.
Interesting. Okay, walk me through that a little bit because that sounds like, and I might be oversimplifying, so correct me if I'm wrong, but that definitely sounds like once you're moving towards that fixed income stage of your life, you don't want your property taxes to outpace your fixed income.
Mm-hmm.
Is that about right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So pros and cons here. Give me your analysis.
I can't really say there's a con because this does authorize parishes to do it. So they have to elect to do it, which means they need to look back and see if their budget can handle increasing this exemption for persons 65 and older.
Mm-hmm.
And if they can do it, they can elect to do it. There is language in the bill too that by electing to do so, that parish has to absorb any revenue decrease that would result from it.
Okay.
And they couldn't push that liability onto, non-qualifying taxpayers and other taxpayers.
So
it looks like they've covered all of their bases. But
yeah. So whatever adjustment is made for those 65 or older, the parish wouldn't be able to pawn it off on everybody else, like redistribute that revenue or redistribute that revenue generation onto everybody else.
Correct. Yeah, very, very interesting bill. I do know in hearing like other homestead exemption authorizing bills, one concern was, patchwork around the state. You've got one parish that does it. Is one parish having it gonna negatively impact the parish next door who might not be able to afford it? So, I mean, that's the only con that I've really heard on these is that patchwork, and then like a poorer parish that can't afford it being, I guess, penalized or negatively affected. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I do think it would be a great bill for, persons 65 and older.
Yeah, we got about 2 minutes left with Blake Ordaz from Advantage Consulting. The homestead exemption's always been a fascinating one to me because its popularity ebbs and flows like anything else, but the principles ebb and flow with the popularity. Like there was a time where there was a big push to want to lower the homestead exemption overall so that everyone, you would have more people with more skin in the game when it comes to property tax. And then the popularity of property taxes changed. And now we want to see more people want to see the homestead exemption raised to lower the tax burden on, different demographics and different people and whatnot. It's crazy to watch it go completely from one side all the way to the other within a span of just a few short years.
Mm-hmm. And those points were even brought up in committee. I wish I had my notes in front of me, but one of them, I think, had proposed instead of from 0 to 7,500, maybe like 7,500 to 12,500. Like a lot of different possibilities to do this, either decreasing it as a whole or trying to capture a larger audience.
Right.
Yeah, very interesting. I did want to note, they mentioned that there is a increased homestead exemption option for, I think it's first responders.
Okay.
So we do already have something in place similar where, it's targeting a certain group. So maybe the patchwork isn't as concerning for this. But yeah, very interesting.
She is Blake Ordaz. Good.
Oh, no, I was just saying, and this one is moving. Last week it passed the House, and now it's at the Senate, just waiting to be sent to committee.
She is Blake Ordaz with Advances Consulting. We always appreciate you hopping on board. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
We're coming up on 7:30 at Talk 107.3 FM. Got to remind you about the folks over at Neurojust. Neurojust.com is the website if you want to check them out online. Neurojust.com is where you will find them. You'll find them in real life over off of Bluebonnet Boulevard. What do they do at Neurojust? Well, if you or someone you love is battling with anxiety or depression, they specialize in what's called transcranial magnetic stimulation, TMS therapy, they call it. And it's a form of therapy that targets the part of the brain that affects the mood. So if you have gone to see a psychiatrist, if you've gone through the sit down, talk it out therapy, and maybe you're not seeing the results you wanted from that, maybe you're not getting the takeaways that you wanted from that, and this is the more frequent situation, if you've been given the prescription for the antidepressants and you just don't like the way you feel when you're on them, or you're seeing diminishing returns, the results aren't where they should be. If you are in either of those pools, then you're what at Neurojust they call treatment resistant. You're the prime candidate for transcranial magnetic stimulation. And oh, by the way, they show results it's greater than 85% response rate overall. And oh, by the way, insurance picks up the tab. Learn more at neurojust.com. Crime Stoppers is next.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Such a beautiful day.
Oh, no, couldn't have been spelled out any better. So, you what? That's perfect. That is exactly what we need. Not anymore, I know. I appreciate the thought. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, we looked that one up. So, that's not wasn't a problem. Yeah, well, have you turned that off? Thank you. Always appreciate it. You're all set, ready to roll?
Yeah.
Actually, no, put that light back on. Yeah, well,
even with the sun out, it does make it.
Well, especially with the sun directly blocked, so it's not there to wash me out anymore.
What rises to the east with the day. I thought I could have grabbed the other folding table, put all the mixer to the side. So you have
That's fine.
How was the Ascension thing? Do they have more than just jambalaya represented?
Dude, I went home so full, and I didn't have any jambalaya. I had mostly Korean food.
Really?
Hyundai.
Oh, that's
Hyundai
true.
Steel was out there. They had a whole Korean buffet. And yeah, I had chicken wing. I had a lot of pork. I had a lot of beef.
They're in Russia out there.
And what? I saw Taylor. I didn't see Clayton or Russia.
I was just thinking of people that were such terrorists.
I know Dara was out there because I talked to some people that talked to her.
Okay.
I just didn't see her.
Yeah.
Dude, it's a party, man. There were a ton of folks, a ton of tents, pop-up tents set up. So, yeah, couldn't have been bigger about it.
Yeah, I totally forgot about the Hyundai thing. That's a good position for them to be in.
The crawfish stew. I had Blue Runner was out there, so I had some red bean. Yeah, it was
Kansas, I did one of those cooking classes at Red Stick.
Yeah.
I wanted our anniversary, but they were all booked up until then. I had to chop up fennel. Never had fennel.
Fennel?
Fennel and yellow.
Yellow beets.
Yeah, dude. I didn't really have that.
I've never had a
And
yellow
it's
beet.
waiting to be sent to committee.
All right.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Is it good for the
bolognese?
Is it good for the circulation? I think so. You know, beets are good.
We've no, that's actually worse somehow.
Oh, really?
It's rising up above the as we're for the Team Cate swab event. We'll tell you about that again in a little while. Right now, though, we go to the right now, though, we go to right now.
It's kind of beautiful. Yeah, that's you right there. I'll give you some volume. Let's see. What's Joe whining about this morning?
Who knows?
He's a good 8 posts in. All right, here we go. You want us to pay property tax? Me? When you say you, were you talking about me?
Good morning.
Typical politics keep robbing the working class people, and let's let the companies who have money, let's give them tax breaks and now give them even more money. No, I tell you what, let's not give them tax breaks because that is how Houston was freaking built. I tell you what, I want the companies to pack up and go somewhere that they will give them tax breaks. So now you don't have to worry about taxes because you don't have income. Congrats. How many poor politicians do you know? Personally, 8. I mean, I'm not poor, but definitely not richer than me, and I'm not rich. So, well, I got too much month at the end of the money, but no, it's how many poor politicians do I know? I don't know. How many poor electricians do you know? Punch line. 736 Talk 107.3 FM WPRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane. Rolling right along. Going to get you to Crime Stoppers in just a quick second. Do need to remind you about the folks over at Industry Makes, industrymakes.org. If you want to learn more about who they are and what they do, I'll tell you a little bit. Okay. What Industry Makes is, it's a group of put together all the voices of industry into one funnel, into one website at industrymakes.org. When it comes to business in Louisiana, we see this, literally we see this in our own chat at Talk 107.3's Facebook page. There's so much misinformation out there. So much misinformation. And you know the old phrase, the old Mark Twain quote, a lie can get halfway around the world before the truth gets its pants on. This is what Industry Makes is looking to do, is looking to right the course here. They are the return serve. When you hear the negative and misinformation about industry is now speaking up to defend themselves. If you want to learn more about everything from the jobs provided to the incomes provided to the myth of Cancer Alley, for crying out loud, you can learn more at industrymakes.org. It is time for Crime Stoppers. Let's go. We in?
When you're ready.
Oh, okay. I need you to tell me go. It is time for Crime Stoppers. We got Don Capola on scene with us. How are you, man? Thank you for showing up out here. Then we got outside the studio a little bit.
What a beautiful day.
I know.
Thank you for having me.
No, of course.
It couldn't be better, Brian.
I appreciate that. But I mean, I can't offer you coffee or water or anything. We pack up the show and move.
That's okay.
All right.
Look, we're at the LSU parade grounds right across from the Union. I got out the car with my backpack.
Yeah.
They thought I was a student.
You look like a student,
buddy.
A
senior citizen student.
Well, I mean, they call them non-traditional students now.
Well, I mean, whatever.
So, I mean, we can go hit up a civics class after this if you want.
I was thinking,
you know
yes.
what? Coates is right there. We go hit up a math class.
There you go.
All right, we'll do that for sure. Do they still do math in Coates? I don't even know. We're not close enough to. Well, I was going to say SEBA, but SEBA is no longer a thing.
It's no longer
because now you get the business side and the engineering
Right.
side are separate. So we can't even go to SEBA anymore. Or Power Hall. Power Hall is long since torn down.
long gone.
That's I'm old school that way. I tell you what. How about we'll go to the original Rocco's.
There you
nope,
go.
That was torn down too. Dang it. We're getting older as we sit here, Doc.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, that's
goodness.
still Free Speech Alley though, for what it's worth.
Okay, good.
So right over to our
Right over,
right.
right. Yep.
So, it is Crime Stoppers time. Are we starting with catching bad guys, or we start with what's coming up Saturday?
So let's start off with the tragedy in Shreveport.
Oh, you're
Okay.
right. That's a good call. Okay.
Let's start there. And the reason we're starting there is it's still an ongoing investigation. Investigators believe that it's maybe stemmed from a domestic incident.
And the couple was going through a separation.
Right.
Right.
And
Yeah.
we talk about that all the time on the show,
Right.
as we're looking for people wanted for domestic abuse batteries. And so as we go through these cases week by week, Brian, we just want people to know how serious this is.
Mhm.
And you may get tired of hearing, oh, here's another domestic abuse case. Here's another domestic abuse case, Baton Rouge police or someone in the 9 parish Crime Stopper area is looking for. But this is why we put those out.
100%.
And again, we've said it time and time again. If you see a change in your coworkers, if you see a change in your family, your friends, ask those hard questions, because you may ultimately be saving their life.
Right.
And not knowing it at the time.
Right. And that's the part that goes so under the radar. Is it's not. If you see the fight in the parking lot, if you see the arguing back and forth that looks like it escalated quickly and could escalate more, the natural reaction is not my business. That's their relationship. Every relationship has problems.
Yes.
But you don't know.
You don't know that.
And the only way to know is to let someone else know. It's like, hey, this was going on and it looked like it could have gotten a lot worse. Now, for the couple that it's not going to get a lot worse, it's no big deal. Someone's going to ask you a question or two and that'll be that. But for the couple where it is going to get worse, you could tell right away that they're going to be triggered and that it was going to escalate with or without police intervention.
Exactly. And
So-
and they may get angry if you're asking or inquiring what's going on or stay out of my personal life. But you need to ask those questions just because they may be looking for help.
Right.
And you may be the one they reach out to.
And the one who's on the receiving end of that domestic abuse is more than likely counting their excuses why they're not seeking help already, but with just the right nudge, they could want to go down that path.
They may want to go.
That's 100% right. 225-334-STOP is the phone number for Crime Stoppers. You talk about that investigation up in Shreveport. I don't know how much more they can learn, but this is one of those times where there's a lot of the behind the scenes stuff that we in the public aren't going to see, but you with your law enforcement experience, give me just a little bit of background on not necessarily how they go about finding something the guy's dead.
The guy's dead, but investigators have a lot of investigative measures they use and they go through. And let's jump over to the 2 arrests in Devin Page Jr.'s investigation. That was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
With Crime Stopper, the anonymous tips that have come in, Chief Morris had made mention of that at the press conference. So we appreciate those tips and those people getting involved, recognizing and realizing that they are going to remain anonymous, along with the investigative measures that investigators took. And we're not going to get into all the details on that, but just know that these law enforcement professionals are good at their job. They've been well trained, and they're going to continue to do their job very well, along with the help of the public calling into Crime Stoppers. Those tips are being passed on, which assisted in the Devin Page Jr. investigation. No doubt it will assist in their investigation in the Shreveport area. So yeah, just keep those phones ringing and the P3 tips out.
And the other note about the Devin Page investigation is because of the Devin Page investigation, that homicide was actually connected to another one.
to another one.
That's the part that when we tell you about calling 344 stop, when we tell you about the Crime Stoppers phone number and the P3 tips app, when you have a piece of the puzzle, you might not even be looking at the right puzzle. That puzzle piece might go to a completely different puzzle.
A different puzzle.
Right.
And multiple puzzles.
Right.
You never know. But I want people to understand and know that if your family has lost a loved one due to a senseless act of violence, it's not over.
Right.
Okay. This was a 4-year investigation that information came about to help make these 2 arrests.
Right.
If you go to our Facebook page, Crime Stoppers, Capital Region Crime Stoppers, you search unsolved, there's a list of unsolved homicides. And we don't want those families to think that my loved one has been forgotten, because that's not the case.
No.
There's a list of unsolved homicides. We put them out. We speak about them. Our local news affiliates do stories on them. And we would love to see each and every one of them be solved to give that family closure.
We got Don Capola with us. We do Crime Stoppers this time every week, even when we're on location. So coming up Saturday, and I know this is something that you've been a part of in the past. I don't know if you're connected to this one, but the DEA is rolling into town for the drug
take back, and it's something they do twice a year. Baton Rouge Police Headquarters is one of the sites. I know Women's Hospital is one of the sites. But just know, if you have these unused, unwanted, expired medications, just come drop them off. There's no questions asked. You just hand the bag over. If you want to take the labels off so they don't know who you are, you can do that. You don't have to do that.
No, you know,
because it goes from one hand to another hand into
Yeah.
a box. It's sealed. But you don't have to wait for the drug take back. Baton Rouge Police Headquarters has a permanent drop box that you can drop it at any time.
Let's talk about the why. Why is it important that a simple medication in your medicine cabinet, why is it important that it get handed back over?
You know, if it's sitting there, if you have young kids or someone that is maybe your house, your person cleaning your house, and they go through and see this and they want to help themselves to this, that's the last thing you want.
Right.
You don't want to flush them in the toilet, because then that's a whole nother issue that comes up. But clear those medicines out. If you have a elderly family member or someone who just passed away, get those medicines out, clean everything up, bring them to us, and dispose of them in the proper way.
Now, this isn't just, these are prescription drugs. These are over-the-counter medications as well. We're not talking about there's like certain prescriptions that they want to turn in and certain ones they don't. It's just if it's taking up room in your medicine cabinet,
taking up room, you're not using it, it's expired.
Yeah,
just get rid of it.
And the reason for this is actually it's a threefold thing. It's like what Don talked about when you talk about crime within a family, when you talk about somebody who has a chemical dependency.
Yes.
They will rummage, they will go through, and if they find something that might be expired or whatever, they're not exactly getting exactly what they're looking for. And sometimes people chasing a high will take something they totally should not take along the way.
And even and to add to the taking part, they could sell.
Oh yeah.
So it's just best to get rid of it, not even give somebody the second thought of either taking or selling. This is the right way to do it. No questions asked. And
it's all locked up immediately.
Immediately.
It's not like my kid's Halloween candy. I don't get to go pick the good stuff first.
You don't get to pick the good stuff.
Oh, man.
It's placed into a box, sealed, and later disposed.
I'm just saying, everybody look away for 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes. That's
2
all
minutes.
I need. That's no, it's coming up Saturday at Police Headquarters, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And it really does make it. It really does make a difference, especially in your own home when. If like Don said, if you got a cleaning person or a relative or whatever, and there's also your own safety as well.
Yes.
That you don't want to go back one day and be like, yeah, this was expired, but I'm experiencing the same symptoms again. No, go back to your doctor, go back to the pharmacist. Right.
They just put an expiration date just to put. No, that's not the case.
That's not the case at all. So we've only got a minute left. Is there anybody we're chasing after today?
So there's a lot of people we're chasing after. I don't have that with me because I wanted to focus on the unsolved right now.
Oh, sure.
I didn't want those families forgotten about. But if you visit our Crime Stoppers Facebook page or our website, crimestoppers225.com, there's a list of wanted individuals. Baton Rouge Police, along with our other law enforcement partners, are searching to identify individuals wanted in some crimes committed. And we just want you to pick up the phone, 344-7867. Go to our P3 Tips app. Better to have and not need than need and not have.
Yep.
And know you will remain anonymous any way you reach out to us. And if your information assists, you're eligible for a cash reward.
He is Don Capola. We do Crime Stoppers every single week. Always appreciate the time, sir.
Thank you, Brian. Have a good day.
Coming up on 7:50, here comes Your Money Now. Yeah, the only other thing I wanted to squeeze in was give you a couple seconds to give a shout out for the police pay raise last night. Oh, what?
Stoppers, we got Don Capola on scene with. It is time. It is time.
Thank you, Brian. Have a good day.
Ready. Need to pick back up on the comments there that I was it's like 19 posts now. Here we go. And by the way, going back to Joe's comment about how many poor politicians do I know? You don't see a whole lot of poor politicians, like poor, like, because you don't see a whole lot of bums that have the kind of drive it takes to step up and run for office. But Joe also goes on to say, so why do we, the middle class working people, put up with this and keep making the rich richer and the politicians richer? Well, I would throw this right back at you. Go run for office. That's the beauty of the system. Go run for office. You're more than capable of running for office. Now, if you find along the way that nobody likes you, that's a different story. But if you go run for a small office out there, if you go run for like a Livingston, or Denham Springs City Council or something, or state rep out that way, it doesn't take a whole lot of money to run one of those races. You don't see. I tell you what, watch your television and see what races there are for political office. You're not going to see a whole lot of commercials for state rep or parish council or city council on a TV. Those bigger offices where you're going to have a big budget to run for it. It's when you talk about the people that I'm talking about on a daily basis in city government and state government, when you're talking about those folks, you're not talking about butt tons of money. So
I love to do that. You're like, what?
7:55, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Morning with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. We're going to have Tommy Fauché from the Louisiana Mid-Continent Oil and Gas Association kicking off our third hour. So we're going to bump up this day in history to right about now.
In all my years of school, Brian, I never knew this. They never taught us this. In 1564, birth and death of William Shakespeare. He died and was born on the same day.
Really?
I never knew that.
Okay.
Making April 23rd one of literature's most iconic dates.
All right. Shout out Billy Shakespeare.
I know. Poor thing. 1985.
What do you mean, poor thing? You weren't expecting him to be alive today, were you?
No.
Because at this point,
not.
at this point, he would basically just be
Poor
like,
thing.
kill me.
It's like, God bless your heart, 1985, the new Coke was introduced by the Coca-Cola Company. One of the biggest marketing misfires ever.
Oh, my
Public
goodness
backlash
gracious.
forced
Yeah.
a quick return to the original formula. Do you remember that?
I was 9 years old. So a little bit.
Did
I
you
remember
try the new formula? Did it taste
Yeah,
gross?
but don't ask me how it tasted. I have no idea because that was 40 years ago today. 40 years ago today, new Coke was thrust upon America, and we look at it now like in over the passage of time, like it was one of the worst. It was a horrible marketing thing, and it did push Coke to the brink because they were in the middle of the battle with Pepsi, and you had Michael Jackson on the Pepsi side, and the choice of a new generation, and then you had new Coke come out, and it was terrible, and then everybody forgets that less than 10 years after that, we got Crystal Pepsi. And that was possibly the worst idea ever.
I remember that.
Remember Crystal Pepsi?
God. It tasted horrid. Horrible. Horrible. But if you're going to go back to any formula of Coke, go back to the, you know what I mean?
Oh, that had the original Coke that had cocaine in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're going to go back, do that.
Yeah. I mean, you think Red Bull gives you wings.
Woo! In 1990, the Hubble Space Telescope was deployed by the Space Shuttle Discovery, changing astronomy forever. Pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool.
In 2005, I'll never forget this. The Me at the Zoo becomes the first video uploaded to YouTube. You realize how insane this was? The entire internet, as we know, it basically started. It was an awkward dude just standing in front of elephants.
Okay.
Me at the Zoo. And it was the first YouTube video ever. And now we have TikTok with. Don't even go down that
No,
rabbit
I know,
hole.
but
I mean,
between YouTube
awkward.
and TikTok and Reels and every other social platform out there, we got to build data centers to keep up with them now, don't we?
Right.
Because Get Ready With Me is worthwhile content, right?
Or what is
because
it?
a minute and a half
with
of
me, or,
because 2.5 minutes of me watching you put on your makeup while you just dish about useless crud. Yeah, that's why we need data centers.
That's why we have to build data centers. Oh my God.
No, totally.
In 2020.
By the way, if you're an influencer, just a quick side note for influencers out there, if you're a food influencer, I need you to go right now to the Barnes & Noble across the street from the LSU Student Union. Buy a damn thesaurus. Stop telling me everything is good or so good. Learn more words, influencers. Sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Boy, did I get old real fast right there. Here's another thing. Back in my day, you had to taste the food yourself. All right, sorry.
So in 2020, President Trump, he told us to drink bleach. Remember that?
No, he didn't.
I know he did. I just had to clown. COVID-19 could be treated by introducing disinfectant or UV lights into a human body.
Yes. Which,
yep.
God, we'll never forget all the doctors in the room. Now, he wasn't stating it.
Left.
He was very humbly, which is odd for him, humbly asking a question. He was just working it out in real time. Oh, we got to go?
Yeah, we got to go.
Oh, holy hell. Happy birthday, Timothy McVeigh. So stupid.
We end with that. That's so
with
funny.
happy birthday, Timothy McVeigh.
Yeah. Oh, drink bleach. Happy birthday, Timothy McVeigh.
No, I'm sitting on a rant about food influencers because Christy saw a video for Sammy's Crawfish King, and the pictures of the crawfish are what made her want to go there. But I'm watching the same video, and all I'm doing is hearing this girl say, "This was so good. This was so good. And I had this, and it was so good." And I'm like, buy a damn thesaurus.
To come up with some words, I know.
Well, I mean, like I go to great effort to try and describe food during Fruity Friday, and I am by no means an expert, and I'm by no means an actual food critic, but I am going to put a little bit of effort into my descriptive, what different taste, what different palates there are, what different tastes there are, the things that go into a food, like, oh, I actually taste this flavor and that flavor. Oh, this is so good. No, you got to give me more than just so good if you're going to, quote unquote, influence me.
Right.
It tasted like, Haggai says the new Coke tasted like Pepsi.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know.
The new Coke tasted like Pepsi. Huh.
So me and Don went off to talk off the record, and we were standing in frame, but behind. So somebody texted him a screen grab. Meeting of the minds. So good. Golly, it's fun to get out of studio. Sorry you're stuck back there, Breland.
I know. I'm bummed because we got everybody down there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, Michelle's rocking out her remote right next to me. And then one more tent over, you got Matt Flynn and
Marler.
Marler's over there filling in for Hester. And I saw Marler walking up. He actually parked a couple blocks away, so he's walking up this morning, and the sun's coming up behind him. So it's just like this silhouette of Marler marching like he's on a mission to get here.
You should have took a video.
I should have taken a video. And like I could have put any music underneath it I wanted. It would have been no matter what music, the step he had going, the stride he had going, like no matter what music, it could have been Eye of the Tiger, it could have been Chariots of Fire. Like, it could have been the theme of Jurassic Park.
Oh my God.
Hey, how about me staying on time for my lives on remote?
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of me today. I didn't fuck up a little bit, but not really. Talking about my speech.
Oh. No, you did. There was nothing in there today that I know of.
I always get tongue twisted. I think it's my accent because I'm from Homa, so we fuck up everything. Ask Cade. But I also just roll my words sometimes.
Yeah, it's all good.
Do we get to interview Cate? Where's Cate?
I don't know. Hey, is there anyone?
Like mom or something?
And I still haven't heard anything about what's potentially at 8:15. So we're gonna run with Tommy until about We'll go until about 8:20 if we have to.
If somebody calls me
Yeah.
or walks in, I'll just text you. I won't come on the mic.
Thank you.
Oh, somebody's calling me. Hang on.
That's Tommy.
Oh, Talk 107.3. Hey, Tommy, good morning. We're in commercial right now. We'll be coming to you in 1 minute, okay? All right.
I want to get to work on broadening out the bumper rotation as wide as we can.
Yes. Can we take this big folder of JP's? I've moved his folder over into my folder. So if
Okay.
you go to Breland, you'll see JP. Take
Okay.
that whole thing and put it into the rejoins.
Yeah, I don't know how. Because there's a
Okay.
rotator, there's a built-out rotator, but
I
every
think
cut
so.
within the rotator needs its own cart number. And then you're gonna
I'll
have
get
to
with Cade.
Yeah. That's the easiest way. But yeah, I would like to mix it up to where we're not hearing the same songs every other day.
I know.
And I know the audience is like in 23 years in radio, no one has ever that I've worked. I've never read a Nielsen diary that said I listened to talk radio for the 14 seconds of bumper music. It's just it's not ever going to register with the audience. So it's
And even if
never a
they
priority.
do, they're truly not going to give a damn.
Right.
Even if they do. But still.
Now, well, I will say this. Okay, back in my producer days, when I was at WJBO and I produced the Bill Profita show, there were days where we would theme out the bumper music to where every song had to do with the topic. But that was for a completely different thing, where it was a caller-driven show. There was no Facebook live feed, so there was no muting it on
It was just
Facebook.
a different kind of show.
But I would make all the songs relate to what we were talking about that day, and it became part of the content. It wasn't just bumper to get us in and out. It became part of the content. Me and Bill would riff on it a little bit.
We're coming back in.
Okay.
When you're ready.
Yeah. 806 Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Hour 3 coming your way right now. We're going to talk later on this hour with Clay Young. Smoke 'em if you got 'em's coming up this weekend, if I'm not mistaken. We got a couple of different topics we're going to cover before it's all said and done this morning. Tommy Fauché from Louisiana Mid-Continent Oil and Gas Association is on the hotline right now. But before we get to him, I want to remind you about the Dreams Come True Radiothon going on right now at talk1073.com. Actually, all of our guarantee stations. We look forward to this every year. We do this every year. We team up with Dreams Come True to make a dream come true for a Louisiana child and their family battling a life-threatening illness. If you've been through it before, you know it's not just the child who's hurting. The entire family goes through it, from the emotional end to the strain of everybody picking up added responsibility, added worry, added care. Obviously, we don't want it to get away from the kid who's battling as well, but for the entire family. So if you visit talk1073.com, you can make your donation today for the Dreams Come True Radiothon. I'm going to go ahead and preview this, though. Tomorrow's our power day. We're getting into it tomorrow, where we're going heavy, and there will be incentives and there will be giveaways. So I would greatly, greatly appreciate a donation today, but be ready. Be ready for tomorrow, because we're going strong with Dreams Come True. All right. It was a little bit less than a week ago, the Supreme Court ruled that coastal lawsuits belong in a federal court. Here to talk about that and kind of a different spin on it as to where we go from here. Tommy Fauché from Louisiana Mid-Continent Oil and Gas Association on with us. How are you, sir?
I'm good, Brian. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing very well. I'm outside the studio today. I'm on the parade grounds at LSU. It's they actually let me out. I don't have an ankle monitor or anything.
Well, which is amazing, because I would never allow you that much freedom, but I'm glad you're out there and you're doing God's work.
That's only because you know me. But so it was a little bit less than a week ago, Supreme Court ruled that the coastal lawsuits belong in federal court. I want to ask you a question, because some of the misreporting on this has been disgusting to me. And the way it's been reported is that the Supreme Court, quote unquote, ruled with the oil companies. That to me is so irresponsible. What's your takeaway from a headline like that?
I think that the United States Supreme Court's ruling of 8-0 ruled that the law needs to be applied appropriately. And when you have companies who were acting in good faith at the direction of the federal government to support World War II efforts, that they deserve the opportunity to defend themselves in federal court. And I think that's what the ruling was. And I think whether that's an oil and gas company or some other company who was supporting the war effort, I think that's what the law calls for. And clearly the justices saw it that way, not one justice or 5 justices, but 8 justices.
Right. It's because just the other way around is it's duplicitous. It's clickbait at that point. And to me, it demeans the whole situation, which is a situation that does need to be hashed out in court. And we'll find out where it goes from here. But when you rewind the clock and go back to the genesis of the problem stemmed from a greater effort to help our nation.
No, that's absolutely true. And look, the oil and gas industry was critical at the time of World War II, just as it is critical at all times of conflict in this country. It's the only way we get ships out to sea and planes into the air. And they followed the laws at the time. They supported the efforts as directed by the federal government. And, I think what we hopefully are going to see from now is a fair hearing of the activities that took place. Now, that being said, we do truly believe the companies were acting within the scope of the law and doing what was appropriate and necessary at the time. And, this is going to be an interesting moment. We don't know exactly what is going to come next. There's a lot of procedure ahead of us. The ruling was fantastic, something we celebrate. The industry celebrates, companies celebrate. But at the same time, now there's an opportunity, I think, for everyone to look at this and decide, where does it go next? Does the state want to continue this effort? Companies have spent millions of dollars, almost 15 years now, defending themselves. Do we want to continue down that path, or do we want to take this as a moment to say, okay, enough's enough. Let's stop these lawsuits.
Talking with Tommy Fauché from the Louisiana Mid-Continent Oil and Gas Association. So what's your gut tell you on that front? Where do you think the path will lead?
I am going to leave that ball in the court of the people who have to decide on whether or not they want to continue the lawsuits. And we will see what they decide. I know this. I know that, a lot of, you talked about the press reports. Let's just talk about the attention in general since Friday, because it was a quite remarkable decision when you have the fact that this Supreme Court, with all of the divisions that we hear about in this country, ruled 8-0, unanimous verdict in favor of where we would like to see these cases go. I think a lot of people around the country have taken notice. This was a United States Supreme Court. This is not just a Louisiana issue. You've seen everyone from the Wall Street Journal to Politico to outside columnists. I mean, let's remember there were amicus briefs filed in this case by former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. All that attention now that there has been a decision is, I think, very much warranted, because a lot of people around the country are saying litigation like this is unnecessary. And I made a point to someone yesterday. It's not just all of the legal experts and the columnists and the political figures and leaders around the country that took notice of Friday's decision. You know who also took notice of Friday's decision, who follows the actions of the United States Supreme Court probably more than ever in our history?
Who's that?
The men and women of the industry.
Oh, yeah.
They recognize, we talk a lot about the companies involved in the suits. Remember, the companies employ more than 300,000 people in Louisiana. So those men and women on the rigs, in the plants, they're taking notice of this too, and hoping that this saga is coming to an end.
Well, yes, because it's not just about this saga, meaning this one particular case is 42 different coastal lawsuits overall. So
sure,
the saga is going to need to come to an end. And I think you and I are on the same page when I say that when one of them comes to an end, precedent won't be completely set across the board, but we can get closer to precedent every time out.
That's right. And, we've seen, obviously, the large verdict that came out of the Plaquemines case. That's not a good future for Louisiana. That's not, we don't, that does not inspire investment in Louisiana's oil and gas industry. That's not what we want our future to look like.
No, absolutely not. And I'm sure somebody's done the math on it, but if the amount in that particular case had become precedent, we'd be talking about penalizing oil and gas companies to multiple trillions of dollars. I mean, what was it, 745 million?
It would be a lot of money.
Right. You multiply 745 million by 42. I mean, that would break the backs of the entire industry.
Yeah, look, I mean, like I said, they've already spent millions of dollars defending themselves from these cases. Those are dollars that could be going into Louisiana to create more jobs and economic opportunities for the people who already live here. So, I think the ball is in the court of those who have to decide what they want to pursue going forward. Do they want to continue these cases?
Got just a couple minutes left with Tommy Fauché. I appreciate you hopping on board this morning. Do you care if we pivot over to the legislative session real quick? Because I mean, I know you're very, very active right now with your eyes on quite a bit. What has your highest level of attention this week?
I'm going to give you one bill in particular that's going to be heard at 9:00 this morning, and it's HB 804 by Chairman Brett Guyman of the House Natural Resources Committee. Continuing on the litigation theme, Brian, this is a bill that would prevent lawsuits being brought against companies, not just oil and gas companies, any business or entity in Louisiana on the basis of someone saying that they have been damaged or harmed because of climate change. So a national phenomena that we are starting to see are people bringing lawsuits against oil and gas companies or against businesses saying that they suffered some type of damage because of global climate conditions and that the companies are liable. And I say the companies because it's not just oil and gas. It could be anyone who has emissions. It could be a farmer who has tractors in the field. It could absolutely be oil and gas companies. It could be truckers who are moving products across this nation. We have started to see, there was one case in particular in Washington State. Tragically, a woman passed away as a result of a heat stroke. Her family then sued energy companies saying alleging that they caused climate change, which led to the death of their mother. We do not want to see that transpire here in Louisiana. You have states like Oklahoma and Utah who have been leading the way in passing legislation to prevent this type of litigation. We're going to see a bill this morning. Chairman Guyman has brought up this piece of legislation, a good bill that is going to bring Louisiana into the fold with some of these other states to protect the businesses and entities here in Louisiana from that needless litigation, frivolous litigation.
This one. Hey, so have you? And I know this isn't a direct comparison, but have you ever read Runaway Jury by John Grisham?
I feel bad to say this. I feel like a high school kid. I did not read the book. I saw the movie.
You saw the John Cusack movie, which, as did I.
I did.
And so this really has the feel of like how out of control or how quickly out of control a lawsuit like that can get. Because, and this is like, even that's based on a lot more. Well, the book was about the cigarette industry. The movie was about the gun industry. This is about something that you can't have a definitive bad guy here, but they're going to create a definitive bad guy by like skipping 3 steps in the middle of an equation to get from point A to point B. They're just going to jump to it right there, but you're going to have that same emotion and fervor behind creating a villain without being able to back it up. What Brett Guyman's doing right here is totally putting a roadblock in that before it has a chance to happen.
Yeah, look, it's a good bill. And, as I said, other states are doing it. United States Supreme Court is going to take up a case. They've announced in their fall term, that begins in October related to this. But I think it's important for Louisiana to do this. I commend the chairman for bringing it. You're going to see significant support here this morning at the Capitol for this. It is important, and at this time, when you are seeing wild claims in other states, we want to make sure that we're in the right place, because we do have a history of litigation in this state, and we want to do our best.
As the first 8 minutes of the segment explained, we do.
Yeah, we want to do our best to protect all businesses and job creators in Louisiana.
Absolutely, especially when they go to such lengths to get it right on the front end. He is Tommy Fauché, Louisiana Mid-Continent Oil and Gas Association. Always appreciate the time, sir. Thanks for hopping on board.
All right, have a good week, Brian.
You do the same. We are coming up on a break here at Talk 107.3 FM. In fact, we are slightly overdue for said break, as it's almost 8:20 at Talk 107.3 FM. Hey, before we take that break, though, I know I'm late on the break, but I got to remind you about the folks over at Mathern's. And every single week, the folks at Mathern's put new specials up over on their app. This week, and I'm hoping I can see it with all the glare out here. Oh, $150 and up. Oh, Louisiana Select Shrimp. If you want a 1 pound bag of Louisiana Select Shrimp, frozen shrimp, by the way, this is a deal that's only going, not a 1 pound bag, a 12 ounce bag, excuse me. Louisiana Select peeled shrimp, $1.99 a piece right now. $1.99 a piece. The frozen Louisiana Select Shrimp from $150 and up. It is that's not a price. The $150 is the name of the Louisiana Select, but the deal's going on for just 5 days. Normally they'll put a deal up there for a little while. This was a super good deal that you want to grab. It's up there for 5 days to get your Louisiana Select Shrimp. Also, Bluebell ice cream sandwiches are $1 off right now. They've got free Fatty's Jambalaya mix is free with a $10 purchase. That's going on right now. 50 cents off the Food Club apple juice, 50 cents off Food Club mayonnaise. There's all kinds of deals built into the app. And when you open up the app, when you're shopping, just hit clip deal underneath the deal. And when you add the item to your cart, they take care of it for you up at the register. And then they'll scan your barcode so you can earn cash towards more groceries every time you shop at any location of Mathern's.
No problem.
No problem. What?
Sorry, Jimmy was Jimmy was bothering me. He says hi.
Oh, hello. Where's the 100.7 tent out here? Come on now.
Come on now.
Get on it.
Be ready for tomorrow, because we're going.
That's me. Where I just hear me?
Because I'm editing you. Hold on. I'm gonna take you. Hold on.
All right.
I wanted to do something out of the.
I don't know what guest you could have had because he or she didn't call. So
No, it's fine.
Mid-Continent Oil and Gas Association. Always appreciate the time, sir. Thanks for hopping on board.
all right, I'm done with that. Yeah, he or she. I hope you didn't misschedule it for tomorrow when we're jam packed with dreams come true.
It's all good. Can you grab me? Oops. LRN 7, 8, and 9, please.
Mm-hmm. Let me do it. News.
How many times can you run for president of the United States?
We have
As many
4.6
times as
million
he
people in our
frickin'
state.
want.
We have plenty of.
So you better, Metro.
Oh.
How many times can you run for president of the United States?
When legislative term limits were brought up,
It's fine. I do them as best I can, and I know that I just got to get them all in before 9. Hey, how much do you know about the event today?
All that was on that sheet.
Okay. Yeah, with the promo. That's it. Okay.
If there was a thing, if you can't make it out, there was something to text.
Yeah.
There's also a bit tomorrow that we're here for, but they're still doing swab.
Okay.
Brian, did they say anybody would be available for interviews or no?
Well, the event doesn't start till 10, so.
Okay.
Brian Haldane rolling right along. Brian here with you. Breland back in the friendly confines of the 180 Pro studio. I am enjoying some gorgeous weather out on the LSU parade
I'm
grounds.
so jealous.
You should be jealous because it's awesome out here. And to my right is Michelle Southern, and to her right is the guys from OTB. Well, I should say the guys from OTB. Marlar's filling in. Chris Marlar, who you all know and love from LouisianaSports.net, is filling in for Hester. So you got Matt Flynn and Chris Marlar over there from 104.5. So we're rocking and rolling out here on the LSU parade grounds as we are here for Team Cate. There's a swab event going on. Just a little cheek swab can let you know if you are eligible to donate bone marrow. Cate is a local. She's here in Louisiana. She's here in Baton Rouge, and she is in need of bone marrow, and she is a St. Jude patient. So there's a donation event going on today, and I believe tomorrow as well for Team Cate. We're just kind of setting the table before today's event starts off. It's going to be 10 a.m. until 5 p.m., and I'm trying to pull the sheet back up here, and we're at a part in the day where the angle of the sun is not letting me see my computer screen to get you the nope, son of a gun. I can't see my mouse right now, Breland, so I can't navigate back to where. Do you have the promos for the week handy?
I can pull it up. Let me see.
Yeah, because I can't see my mouse on my screen good enough. Oh, Cade's on the spot. Cade Wassan, program director in the house. Do you know the text? If you can't make it out for the event today, 18 to 35 years old is the eligibility window for folks that could donate bone marrow if possible for the swap event. If you can't make it out, text who?
You text Cate, C-A-T-E, to 61474. So text Cate, or excuse me, text Team Cate.
Team Cate.
Team Cate, Cate with a C, C-A-T-E, to 61474. And as Brian mentioned, the event today is going on at till 5, and then on Friday from 10 to 2 at Free Speech Alley and the Quad.
Right. Which Free Speech Alley, 50 yards away from where we're at right now?
I believe you.
Yeah.
I'm not from Marywood campus.
That's Cade. How long have you lived in Baton Rouge, dude? You and Breland. Well, I got both you home around here.
I know where to get. I can get to the stadium. I can get to Mathern's.
You better be able to get to Mathern's.
Right?
Yeah.
I can get to walk-ons, but that's about it. I'm with Cade. I don't really know my way around campus.
I'm glad I found it. I found this place at 5. But yeah, 2 days, 2 events,
Cade.
lots of time for them to get plenty of swabs, because there's that window 1835 where I think those are the higher likelihood they'd find a match. But you never know. You could be that person that helps save Cate.
Appreciate that very, very much. Cade Wassan, our program director, filling in for just a quick second right there, since I've got nothing but glare on my screen, which now I'm going to have to do this next segment off of memory and not what I typed out. Oh, my word. Let's take you into the legislative session. State Representative Mike Bayham, he's got a bill, and I'm not calling this one past tense yet, but he's got a bill that would prevent someone from serving as governor for 3 or more terms. It failed to get enough votes in the House yesterday. This is Mike Bayham's bill. He's from Chalmette. He proposed a constitutional amendment. It needs 70 votes when you've got a constitutional amendment, but it only got 67. Now, there were 22 no votes, and here's the main thing. There were 16 members who did not vote. So you had, House Chambers that was lacking a few votes. Mandy Landry from New Orleans says that she actually liked the proposal. Cut 7. I can't hear it.
Hang on, Brian. Keep talking. Keep talking.
All right. Well, so Mandy Landry is one who liked the proposal. We're going to hear from her in just a quick second. But
Sure?
this was
Okay.
one where
It would just be better if we had them down there. Okay. All right.
I need you.
Okay, Kay. Hang on, Kay. Okay. All right. Bye. Okay, Brian. All right. Back to you. What cut?
7, please.
How many times can you run for president of the United States?
Twice.
Good, Bill. Thanks.
So very quick answer from Mike Bayham right there. It would cut it off at 2. Now, the constitutionally currently only allows for a person to serve 2 consecutive terms, but we've seen in the past, specifically with Edwin Edwards, where you run 2, then you sit out 1, then you come back again. So this would cap the number of years as governor at 8, which Mike Bayham says, to quote the old TV show, 8 is enough. Cut 8.
We have 4.6 million people in our state. We have plenty of talented people and people of ability to serve as executive of this state.
And he's absolutely right. And if you can go into an area where you have 8 years as governor, you go in, you get your job done, and you get out and you move on. We live in what is already a governor-heavy state. We live in a state that gives a lot of power and deference to our governor when it comes to appointing board members to different things, when it comes to building out what the state's, let's say, bureaucratic infrastructure is. That we live in a state where you're heavy to that. So if everyone can be free after 8 years of one governor and move it over to someone else, that would increase the power of the legislature by just a hair and decrease the power of governor by just a hair. So now there were 16 votes or 16 people absent from the chamber. It is quite likely that of those 16 people, he can pick up 3 votes. So he's going to bring this back up again in a week or 2. Here's news.
Sorry, Jesse came in.
That's one of those times where you need to just say, I'm on the show right now. That's
okay.
Just kind of swinging in the breeze right there.
I know.
What did Jesse need?
She's like, Clay's coming in. Clay's coming in. She's like, I can't. Do I send him to campus? She's like, where's Brian? Where's Brian? I'm like, okay. I'm like, we're gonna. So I'm gonna put him on mic 2. I'm gonna put him on
perfect.
Mic 3.
Mic 3. I don't get it.
And I'm like, Jesse, it's okay. And then she's like, call Cate. And then I'm frazzled. And I'm like, wait, I can handle this. I'm like, let me think for a minute. But Brian needs me. And I'm like, I'm going to just put him on the mic.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to stand up for a minute. I've been sitting too long. I'll be right back.
The 2026 New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival opens today.
Despite the name, there's all kinds of music at Jazz Fest.
You put 5,000 musicians through 14 stages over 8 days on this festival this year.
Jazz Fest producer Clint Davis says while most musicians will be from Louisiana, the ones who are not are really important. Those the headliners, which this year include Rod Stewart.
Rod Stewart's not really doing this way concerts around the country, but he wanted to come back.
And the food is as unique as the music.
Nobody else has soft shell crab sandwiches.
Jazz Fest runs through May 3rd. I'm Michelle Southern.
Huge news out of Florida regarding Jazz Fest. The Ackerlitz County Sheriff's Office says they've arrested a man from Chapel, Carolina, who's planning to carry out a mass shooting at the Jazz Fest. Christopher Killer was arrested at a hotel in Destin, Florida. Authorities recovered a handgun and 200 rounds of ammunition from his hotel room. An effort to prevent someone from serving as governor for 3 or more terms failed to get enough votes in the House. But Chalmette Representative Michael Bayham can bring the measure up again. If the proposed legislation can get 2/3 approval of both the House and the Senate, voters will decide if it should be added to the state's constitution. Bayham believes the public would support it, based on how they already feel about term limits.
When legislative term limits were brought up in 1995, 76% of the state voted for this amendment. I believe the people of this state will support this amendment if it's passed by the legislature.
Tonight is the NFL draft, and draft expert Mike DeTillier of the WWL believes former LSU cornerback Mansour Delay could go to the Saints with the 8th overall selection.
A big part of this like defense, playing out wide, playing in the slot, and I think you can move either Kool-Aid with him into that slot position and have been play out wide.
Talk 107.3
now a check on your drive from the Talk 107.3 Traffic Center.
Coming in on westbound southbound for CA 29, then Ryan between Jubin and the 1012 split. Eastbound I-10, LA 415 across the river. Drive there, and LA 1 at 15 minutes from Adams to the I-10 on-ramp. You have a few accidents on the board, including one with an injury at South Harrell's Ferry. Highway Harrell District will be sponsored by Lowe's. Needs of Lowe's. Shop State Premium to buy bags for $10. Let's hit up to 55% on select major appliances. Buy 6 $4.
How we looking on time?
I'm right here. I'm sorry. I'm plugging in headphones.
You're
to
good.
play.
You're good.
We're in traffic. We're
Okay.
about to get out.
2 more minutes. So young. For him to be on? Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna actually put him in that chair right now, and I have headphones for him too, so you can hear Brian. Sorry, like I could probably handle it, but I was frazzled in the moment, knowing that Brian needed me. That's okay.
I came up in here and busted it. My bad.
That's okay. That's okay.
No, I wasn't on the schedule for this when I booked that. That was on the schedule first. But no, I did not go back and
Oh Lord, Facebook goes. The dentist be like, "It's 8:35 on a Tuesday in November, good," and we're just like, "Okay, all right."
So this, I talked to him about it last week on Friday.
Oh, okay.
Both of them.
Okay.
Or either. Yeah. There's a restroom on every floor.
SmokeandVR.com. Okay, and that's what play
And VR. Yeah, that's what he's coming to talk about.
Okay. Is he here yet? Okay. Okay. Yes, ma'am. No problem. No, that's okay. That's okay. No, it's totally okay. And when he gets here, I can talk to Brian through his ear and say Clay's here.
Okay.
And
perfect.
then,
And then
yeah.
we can talk
Yep.
on air and
Yep. Yep. And he'll be able to hear Brian and everything. Yeah. It's right there. So tell him to put on those headphones when he comes and get in that chair closest to me. All right, we're in weather.
Okay. Yeah, let me know when he's in. I'm gonna do I'm gonna recap the police pay raise again.
Okay.
And then do what?
He's not here yet.
He will. I'm gonna recap the police pay raise, and then I'm gonna do my Baton Rouge live read as soon as I know he's in studio, because that'll be the pivot.
Okay. Yeah, we could do a call in. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and do a call in. Tell him to call 408.
Oh, okay. He needs to call in.
Yeah, tell him to call in. 408.
Okay.
Look, this is ready, Brian.
837 Talk 103 FM, WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Hour 3 rolling right along as well. Clay Young's going to join us in just a little bit. Smoke 'em if you got 'em's coming up. Actually, sooner than you think, if I'm not mistaken. Smoke 'em's coming up on April 26th. We'll get to Clay in just a quick second. I need to remind you about the Baton Rouge Metro Airport. FlyBTR.com is the website. FlyBTR.com. If you're booking out your family's vacation over the summer, I know most of us just kind of default down to New Orleans, right? Don't. You're talking about an hour extra drive. You're talking about exorbitant parking rates. You've seen the battles with TSA, and I do mean battles with TSA where the lines have been backing up into the parking garage where you're overpaying. All of these things lead to the airport we have in our backyard is phenomenal. It's a wonderful airport. So when you take a look at everything going on within your travel plans, take into account the entire scenario and give a look at flybtr.com. Now, I will add this to it, is that if you're making your travel plans for LSU football season, there are 5 games where the Baton Rouge Metro Airport is stepping up with added direct flights. Let me get the list. Let me get the list for you. Let me get the list for you real quick. If you're headed to Lexington on October 10th to see the Tigers take on Kentucky, direct flight from BTR to Lexington. If you want to go see the Tigers play Tennessee, direct flight to Knoxville to take on the Volunteers. Or if you're bringing in people from Clemson, Alabama, or Texas, direct flights have been added for those games as well. They'll fly out on a Friday, fly in on a Sunday, or, reverse that for the home games. And the direct flights will get you taken care of for all 5. Now, I do recognize that there's one pretty big game on the schedule that hasn't been mentioned yet. We're going to see if we can't see if that's not a complete list by the time summer rolls around or when football season gets here. But you can learn more at flybtr.com. All right, coming up on April 26th is a fantastic event that's on the calendar every single year. We look forward to it every single year. That is Smoke 'em If You Got 'em. Clay Young is with us. How are you, sir?
Hey, bud, how are you?
I'm awesome. I'm out here on the parade grounds at LSU today for Team Cate. We're doing a swab event to see if we get some bone marrow matches. So they actually let me out of the studio.
And you couldn't have picked a better morning to do it, though, brother. Man, it's gorgeous outside.
It is Chamber of Commerce weather today for sure. All right, smoke them if you got them. It's about that time again.
Yes, sir.
So, but we got to start from scratch, though. For those that don't know what smoke them is, tell them all about it.
Man, Smoke 'em If You Got 'em is an annual fundraiser we started back in 2014. And the whole premise behind it was throw basically a tailgate party, raise money, and give it to organizations that benefit military veterans. We've since expanded it to include first responders as well. So you get together, you come to an event, it's really casual, it's outdoors, there's cigars, there's bourbon, there's patriotism, we talk and benefit the men and women who do the work defending the country and the streets of the country. And that really is it, man. It's simple. There's food, there's live music, there's a live auction, there's a silent auction. It's a pretty good time.
Yes, absolutely it is. And the benefit is the even better part of it. This year, if I'm not mistaken, it's Folds of Honor and the Louisiana Firefighters Foundation. Is that right?
You are correct. That's what we're doing this year and looking forward to it. I've worked with Folds before. I was a part of the committee that put on the Patriots shootout when we would do, which was a golf tournament, and then we would do a banquet the night before.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've got some friends who are there now when we pulled them back in. And Brian, we have an amazing veteran story that we will share at the event. It's going to be unbelievable. Unbelievable.
So you say unbelievable, but knowing the work that Folds of Honor has done in the past, I believe it will be unbelievable. Like this is who they are and what they've made themselves into.
Yeah, and it's such, Dan Rooney has done such a great job of building this and working with people across the country. And Louisiana has been one of the banner charters for Folds, raising money and giving it to veterans. And you also mentioned the Louisiana Firefighters Foundation. I talked with old Doug Thompson a few weeks ago. Doug works with the foundation. Doug is a former LSU baseball great and a really good friend. And we talked about benefiting firefighters. And so we've got a number of them here. And so we'll be splitting the money between the two organizations. And the big thing is, man, we're going to be at the clubhouse at University Club this year. And there's a big announcement we'll make at the event. Every time I come on your show, I got to tease you with something that I don't give away.
I know, every time.
And so
I take it personally. I do. I take it personally every single time. There is a Clay Young tease for news that is to come that can't break here. It's got to break somewhere else every time.
It's pretty good though, brother. It's going to be great. So look, you come out, the event starts at 4:00. The ticket is $100.
Yep.
You get food, you get beverages, you get a cigar. But think of it this way: because we give 100% of the money to the organizations we benefit, your $100 ticket purchase is a donation. So Guarantee Media has been a big partner for well over a decade with me on these events. Mockler Beverage is our presenting sponsor. We've got Our Mom's Kitchen. They're going to be there. Our Mom's Restaurant. They're going to be there. The University Club, obviously. My company is involved. And Brian, it's a really great time. And it looks like the weather is going to be pretty great on Sunday too.
Yes, what we're looking at right now is because I've got a close eye on the weather for this weekend, for Saturday as well. But it's looking like overnight Saturday into Sunday, so which means Sunday ought to look a lot like today is looking. So you're blessed on that front, probably. Well, we don't want to make promises on that, but should be blessed on that front for sure.
Louisiana weather.
No, I know, because it's going to change 3 times before noon. In the meanwhile, University Club is a great location, a fantastic venue. If you visit smokembr.com, smokembr.com, the little button to buy tickets, it couldn't be easier to find. It's right there on the page in front. And in the meanwhile, if you've been to any of Clay's events in the past, you know it's top notch from start to finish. You said Our Moms is coming out there?
Oh, yeah.
Have you worked with them before?
So I had them on the TV show a few weeks back. A good friend of mine, Patrick Foy, we talked about it. So I reached out to him, and then I went to the restaurant just to go and try the food.
Yeah.
And, oh, my goodness. So, yeah, they're going to be out there, Brian.
So you want to talk about – please tell me they're serving burgers, because you want to talk about a game changer of a burger. Now, you probably have them getting creative and fancy and whatnot, but just a game changer of a burger in Baton Rouge. And a burger seems like it's so simple, but what they do – and part of it is who they are. Part of it's who they are.
Yep.
You know they're just good, solid people to their core. But you just for my money, there's not many places you can go that are going to be better.
No, man. And look, I got to give a shout out to my brother Scott Overby at Doe's Eat Place, the most ridiculously enormous steaks for the price. I can't even understand how he makes money with steaks that big. But Doe's is going to be out there. Doe's is a Baton Rouge classic.
Yeah.
And by the way, seriously though, you know about Doe's. If someone wants to get a big old steak, go on Government Street and you won't be disappointed. But he'll be out there. And so we've got some surprises Sunday. I'm so excited about it. And I'm telling you, we're going to make an announcement that changes the face of what Smokem will look like going forward.
I can't wait. And yeah, big shout out to Doe's as well. It's the only place I'll go to eat 2 pounds of ribeye. If you don't tell them you only want 1 pound, you can get a 2 pound steak right there. Clay, you want to talk about meat sweats until Tuesday, and worth every single bite too. So,
hey, listen, I don't know how you do it, brother. I used to do those morning show wake ups early in the morning after a meal like that. I don't know how you work that in.
No, it was I was just this side of being a grizzly bear. I mean, that was a tough Monday morning after that. But like I said, worth every bite because they're phenomenal over at Doe's. In the meanwhile, smokembr.com, smokembr.com. The little purchase ticket tab is right there on the homepage. He's Clay Young. Always appreciate the time, brother. Talk to you soon.
Thank you, man. Keep up the great work.
Thank you. I appreciate that as well. We're at coming up on 8:47 at Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. We're not done quite yet. Couple things I need to promote before break here. One is that this evening I'll be at Live Oak High School. I'll be moderating a congressional debate. If you're on the Republican side or you are no party and want to learn more about the Republican side, you want to pay attention to this. The Liberty Bells and the Republican Women of Livingston Parish, or the Livingston Parish Republican Women, doing it off memory right now, I don't have the flyer in front of me, are putting on a debate tonight, 7 p.m. at Live Oak High School. All 7 Republican candidates will be in attendance at this debate. I'll be moderating. We got a few panelists that are actual journalists that will be asking the questions along the way. Well, 2 journalists and 1 mayor. The mayor of French Settlements could be one of the panelists as well. But the way this is going to roll, it's going to look very much like a presidential primary debate, in that all of the candidates will have time for an opening statement. All of the candidates will be given, an allotted amount of time to answer each question. If another candidate is mentioned in one candidate's answer, they'll be allowed time to rebut, and then we'll have closing statements at the end. It should be full of.
We look forward to it.
It should be full of information for those of us, or for those of you who may be undecided as yet, as we've got less than a month to go until the closed primary on May 16th, which is, of course, a good time to remind you that, yes, we do have closed primaries. I feel like we've talked about it ad nauseum here, but I was at an event yesterday where I was talking to some folks that were upset that they would not be allowed to vote for the candidate of their choice on May 16th. And I asked them, why do you say you can't vote for the candidate of your choice? And the response was, because I'm choosing someone who's from a different party. And I'm not going to go into what party they were and what party the candidate is in or whatnot. But I explained to them fully that, you've had more than ample opportunity to remove your party from your party affiliation from your registration. If you wanted to go on govote.com, or before this, if you wanted to visit the Secretary of State's office directly, you could go down and do that and register yourself as no party. Now, when it comes to only being able to vote within your own party, that's the nature of a closed primary. Come November, the whole ballot is open to all the people. So come November, all bets are off as far as like the closure is concerned. This is just for the party primary, for the closed primary. So it's amazing to me that we're this close to election day, and there are still that many questions left unanswered for some. The questions have all been answered. It's just a matter of, have you sought the actual answers? That being said, we'll probably get Nancy Landry on one more time before Election Day, just to walk us through it. Just a little last second, dress rehearsal, if you will. We're coming up on 8:50 at Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. When we get back from checking Your Money Now and checking traffic, I do want to revisit last night's Metro Council meeting. Police get a big pay raise. We'll talk about it next.
My goodness.
That's on the calendar every single year. We look forward to it every single calendar every single year.
What's Adobe in right now?
All things, but it's completely potted down and just in queued so I can edit you. I'm in offline. That's probably why you can hear it. Hang on.
And I'm 90. I still hear it. I'm 90% sure that it's because the board is dying that signals are getting crossed within the board.
I'm wondering, because I was telling Cate, I said, Cate, I swear to you, I said, I've always had things.
No, it has always been, offline. It should be the only thing that feeds us. But we learned up in, not even Washington, before Washington. Wait, was it before Washington when we did, what was before Washington Mardi Gras that you and I did?
Washington Mardi Gras. That would have been, the down at the Crown Plaza.
No, that's after. The lobby annual thing is after, well after.
What was that event?
I don't remember.
But something happened then.
Yeah.
And that's what I was telling Cate. I said, Cate, I'm not stupid. I said, I promise you. I said, when I need him to hear something, I put it in offline. But I said, he's out of offline. That's what I'm saying. I said, he's out. And I said, he can still hear it.
Right. So, I don't know. Well, I think it's the board. I think there's something janky in the board because.
So, this board today is set up completely different than how I normally have you.
Yeah.
And I've been running with it. So, I'll just hit buttons to make it go off.
Do me a favor and be very thorough in putting it back together so Cate doesn't have to get a call from Carl.
Oh, God. Okay. Yeah, well, let me take a picture of how I have it right now.
The board.
Because probably how I have it right now.
Everything has to be in just one for me not to hear it.
Right.
I hear you. I hear you. But we've been experiencing this repeatedly. Washington Mardi Gras lobby, do what?
Spring cha-ching, y'all.
Boo doop boo boo doop boo.
I took a picture of how I had the board set up today
Okay.
to where if we ever need to do it again,
Yeah.
That's crazy to me because I don't know. I can't figure it out. I'm just staring at the board like, what could it be?
No, don't. It's just let's focus on getting the show done.
I'm sorry, today's chaotic. And Jessie came running back in. She's like, I'm so sorry. I said, don't worry about it. I said, it's okay.
Yeah. Well, that's that part needs to be on you to shut her down. Like, especially what in a segment where I need sound. Because I don't think sales has a need to understand how active you are. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're not just
especially when you're on location.
yes, but like there's every other station in the building. Well, I mean, to a lesser extent, 104.5 is in the same boat I am, but there's like a level of pacificity to being a producer on a remote, unless you're because like 104.5 isn't going to the producers for any audio. You know, they do need to listen to the hosts so that they know like when to go to break and whatnot. But there's it's okay. Are they turned up? Are they turned on? Are we hearing them? Okay, now we can sit back and relax, and whoever's in the field will handle it.
Right.
But with my show, it's like I'm calling on you for like you need to be dialed in. So
I know.
But like I said, there's no reason for her to know that from jump because it's not the case with any other show that we have.
Right.
How long do I have till I'm back?
We're in TTWM right now. So we're almost back.
We're in what?
TTWN, weather spots. Traffic spots.
Traffic spots. Okay. I didn't know what TTWN was.
It's what we use at iHeart and what we use now for traffic and weather.
.56 Talk 123 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along as we're out on the parade grounds outside the LSU Student Union. We are setting the table for what's coming up at 10 a.m. this morning. That's the swab event for Team Cate. Cate is a St. Jude patient who is in need of bone marrow. And if you want to find out if you are a match, if you can help donate, the swab event's going to be going on today and tomorrow out here at it's actually going to be at the Baton Rouge Student Union. We're just across the street from the Union for the show today. And we got the whole crew out here. Michelle Southern from Eagle 98.1 is sitting to my right now. And then, well, I went to go say that Matt Flynn and Chris Marl are holding it down for OTB, but I think they've made a mad dash for the Union. And that's Cate's holding up a 1, which means they need to go number 1. I think that's what it means. That's way too much information.
What?
No, Cate held up a 1. I'm like, all right. I didn't need to know that. I just saw Flynn running the 40. Matt Chris Marler running up the steps like Rocky 2. So we're about to get out of here, y'all. I did want to revisit the top story of the morning, and that is the shout out to the Baton Rouge Metro Council for their efforts last night. Our police force was granted a much deserved pay raise last night. And this is not just a win for the police in Baton Rouge. It's also a win for the Metro Council with a 9 yeas, no nays, 3 abstaining vote, which, to be honest, I would have liked to see the 3 who abstained just get in the yes column so that our police force would have the full backing of everyone citywide from the mayor's office top to bottom all the way through the Metro Council. But there was a side issue where a couple of council members felt very passionately that everyone should get a raise. across the board, whether you're police, whether you're DPW, whether you're constable's office, no matter who you are, like a raise should be in order. And to their credit, raises are overdue. But also, to Mayor President Sid Edwards' credit, he's been very prudent and very grown up. He's been the adult in the room since taking over. Managing the books is not about spinning plates and seeing how long you can keep everything up. Mayor Edwards has had to get behind the scenes, dig through everything, and call on the Metro Council to help clean things up. And the Metro Council has been eager to do that. So for the 3 abstaining last night, thank you for not voting no. I appreciate your protest vote of an abstaining, but thank you for not voting no against our police force. So as I understand it, the money for the new police pay raise should be in effect mid-May, kick in for the June paycheck. And when you have a properly funded police force, you get better cops, plain and simple. You don't get cops who are signing up to be cops out of desperation. You don't get cops who are signing up to be cops just to, rough people up and be on a power trip. You get the right people out there. TJ Morse is going to do the right thing with it. All right, that's going to do it for us. Moon Griffon's next.
We made it.
We did. All right.
All right.
I'm
up. Get you off.
Yeah.
And put the board back.
All right. We'll see y'all later, Facebook. We're getting out of here. We'll see y'all tomorrow.